Hey Sue Woo, how you doing? Welcome to the Old Man Scuff Corner and to the inaugural episode of Shooting in the Breeze. Mine and Chargy VT's Chad Show, and today our guests are Liv Cross and Kazuna Winter. We're just getting set up and we're just starting. Kazuna's having a few last minute technical issues.
Of course, everything freaking worked until the live button got pushed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
That's how it goes.
That's the story of streaming.
Yep, everything works great until you hit the button to go live, and then everything screws up.
Oh,
then
yeah.
everything shits the bed.
Exactly.
It goes to hell in a handbasket. Hell in a handbasket. That's how it is.
Hey, Killing, hey, Ali.
And you don't have to watch it on my point of view, so now I have single person point of view. If you want to watch the whole of us sitting down, Chachi is streaming it as well. I will give Chachi a shout out in my chat now. There we go.
I'm gonna get comfy there,
So you don't have to watch it on mine. I wouldn't be offended if you prefer to see all four of us.
There we go. Okay.
But thank you, Liv. Thank you, Kazuna, for joining us for our normal episode. Hell yeah. First of all, let me say, to your health. Cheers.
Yo, cheers.
That's all you
Gotta
have.
start with a drink. Gotta start with a drink. And then, just so that everybody knows who's watching,
This is going to be a lot. These three are going to drink a lot, just so you guys know.
Our chat show is about streaming. It's about, from the streamer's point of view, about the mod's point of view, talking about Twitch, talking about all the different fun, laughs and larks we've had, crazy moments, etc. But it is a laid-back chat show where we can all have a drink and we can all have a laugh and a chat and hang out.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Hell yeah.
All around happy for the good times with all the friends and all the people in the chats.
That's it. That's it. It's a little extra content for you all.
So, shall I start us all off then?
Yeah, go ahead, George.
Alright, let's see. So, from the questions that all Silvers sent me, we have, what is our favorite type of stream to do?
And whoever wants to answer first, Kazuna's pointing at Liv saying I'm not it, you are.
Sorry for the background noise. I've got like fans and an air conditioner running, and I'm in desktop, so I can't get the noise cancellation.
Don't worry, buddy. You do it.
Honestly, like really, any kind of stream is good to do because, like, I like the chill ones where I'm like recently where I've been playing Dinkum and just kind of being like comfy. But then there are also times where I really like, like the hectic games, first-person shooters, or when I'm playing like Phasmo with Luna or something like that because. Yeah, Risk of Rain with Smar, like those kind of hectic things.
Yeah,
it's nice
funny
to be able to look at chat, but at the same time, it's also nice to, just have a shit ton of things going on all over and having no clue what's about to happen.
I've got to be honest, I enjoyed your Dinkum streams. I enjoyed you digging in the sand and planting crops.
Oh, that game is so comfy.
Yeah, it is. It is a comfy vibe game. And I'm actually going to put it on the list of one of the games that I'm going to play on stream. And I'm crediting you, Liv, because I've never seen it before I watched it on your stream. But I also
fun
like
fact
the
about that
streams
game, it does have multiplayer in it as well.
Does it? Ooh. So you can invite people to play along. That's a good one. The other one I liked that you
your friends list.
Was the German RPG one. I mean, I didn't get why. I sort of got why you shot every single person in the nads with a sniper rifle. Yes. And the amount of times you killed Hitler, I've got to be honest. Hitler died so many times different ways. And Liv was like, no, that's not good enough. I'm going to restart and go back and get him again.
Oh, yeah. I actually played through that with my buddy Tonk off stream, and we did the exact same thing. We literally killed Hitler like 75 times in one night.
Yeah.
Just doing everything we could. It was hilarious.
Oh, man.
I found it funny
1,001
watching you
ways
come
to
up
get
with
him.
all different ways. But the amount of people, I mean, you made a point of shooting every single person in the nads that you saw. And the close-up on that game was hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
With the bullet.
I have to say, if you want the ultimate nutshot compilation, though,
That was it.
Bento. SSB. SSB.
Oh, really?
I have watched SSB take a
SSB.
blind shot and hit 4 people through the balls. She just homes in, and every shot is a nut shot. It is baller.
Oh, gosh. We should
Wow,
be careful about
that's
that.
skills. That is skills, yeah. Remind me
There's a
never
reason
to
people
cross
fear
SSB.
Yeah. SSB should not have a sniper rifle. Got it. Understood.
I've been told off by SSB once, and I'm like, whoa, I'm really sorry, I won't do that again.
So, I
love
also,
SSB, but
I also, with the Sniper Elite, I went to Zombie Army 4 playing that. When I got all the way to the end, I was like, okay, I gotta do my boy list here. A thing. You know what I gotta do. The zombie Hitler. I just was like, everyone, hold still for 1 second. Don't shoot him. I'm getting this shot. Just right to the nuts. And he got back up.
Gets what
Because
he
he's
gets.
a zombie, so he got back up after I did it. I'm like, okay, I'm shooting you in the nuts again. I repeatedly kept shooting him in the nuts until he stayed dead.
Yeah.
Vida send to your balls.
yes.
That's one way to put it.
Good luck putting them back together.
It's especially funny if you get a nut shot with the non-lethal round, because in the game that's a
God.
wooden tip that wouldn't kill somebody. So what you're doing is essentially just shattering their testicles and leaving them alive.
Oh, God. Oh.
That definitely counts as digital war crimes.
Yes. Yes, it does.
You're goddamn right. I like when people would invade me and my buddy Tonk's game when we were playing through it, I would make a note to non-lethal them in the balls, because it still counts as a victory over the invader, and it's just and then I would run up to them and start crouching and standing on them, teabagging them, get wrecked.
This is good time.
So for you, Kazuna, what's your
Yeah.
favourite type of stream to do?
It's for me. My favorite kind of thing is I've always been like city building games like SimCity and Banished
Yeah.
and things like that.
Hmm.
But I also like playing, horror games like Resident Evil. I've always been
Nice.
enthused with the lore of the game, so it's kind of sort of how much, if it's not an action-oriented game, how much can I actually talk about it to keep people's
Right.
interest going, compared to
Well-
an action game like what I was playing yesterday, where people can just sit
Oh,
and
that
watch
was
the action
brilliant.
and listen to me react to it.
Oh, and remove your weapons, take half your life away, swap all your ammo out for meat, and loads of
The
other stuff. I was the only one in Kazuna's chat yesterday who was actually trying to help Kazuna. At one point, they took
come
every
on.
weapon off of Kazuna and left her with a rusty 6-shot pistol.
Oh no.
Yeah.
God.
They
That
made
was
it. They made it
bad.
so I couldn't switch weapons
Yeah.
unless I ran out of ammo, and then they gave me infinite ammo, and then they replaced all of my
Oh,
weapons, so I got
no.
stuck
Yeah.
a 6
I
shooter
was
that was
voting.
rusty.
I was voting for the good option every time. Some of them, though, the actual system didn't offer a good option. I remember one, and the nicest one out of them was get cocked and have nothing from this. And that was like the nicest option available in Chams. 1, 2, or 3. The other one was like lose 3/4 your health and you get resurrected when you die. And the other one was lose all your weapons and be left with something basic. And option 2 was like, yeah, tough luck, get cocked, you've got nothing. I'm not sure I can deal with that. Is that crowd control you were using?
It wasn't
Was that
crowd control, it was
control?
an integration the game actually had built in.
Oh, so the game itself had that built into it. Oh gosh.
The game devs built it in.
Those are all power-ups, and there's literally one called shit,
Power up.
which you
That
get
was it.
nothing.
That was
It
it.
was like get cucked
Eat
on.
shit and get nothing.
Oh,
that was
God.
the words, exactly.
Yeah.
And that was the
In
best
some
option on
cases,
that
it
one.
was fine compared to what I was already dealing with.
Yeah.
So.
The amount of times I saw you nearly beat the Pharaohs and actually complete it.
No.
And then Yami popped in your chat yesterday and you two made me chuckle like crazy. For the first time in the whole day, I'd been in streams all day, but I hadn't had a proper belly laugh till then. And I'm thankful for that.
The interaction they could do is they could vote to change everything, every amount of text in game to hieroglyphics.
Oh god,
God,
no.
So once they
Yeah,
change
they did.
that, it's like literally don't know how much ammo, don't know what any of these loading screens say, don't know anything about what scroll I'm getting. And
So
so I'd have to
Kazuna
look
said,
over
"Get
at chat and
Yami."
see what it is. And then
Kazuna said,
Yami
"Get
showed up and
Yami
it's like,
and get
Yami, can you
translate."
translate this for me? It's like, I asked him to translate it, and he said something along the lines of, this balding man is angry that he doesn't have his harem of cat girls with him.
Yeah, that was
Even more.
Accurate.
And it got me so
Oh,
off guard. I was
hilarious.
waiting to see. I kept
I know,
pausing,
it was
waiting to
so
see what
good.
Yami was going to say.
It
And the
was
timing
good.
was perfect.
That was
Hey,
hilarious.
Zoe, welcome to the Old Man Scuff Corner. Hey, Adeline.
Hi,
We're doing our
Zoe.
inaugural episode of the chat show. Shooting the breeze.
Oh, we have other questions here for
Yeah.
what is your favorite game to play on stream?
Oh, that's an interesting one.
That.
Liz?
Oh man, like
It's hard, I know.
so. It is a hard one because like one thing I will say is it's either Risk of Rain 2 or Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Symphony of the Night is my favorite game of all
Yeah.
time. I have put more hours into that game than some people have put into their career at my age.
Isn't Tubbs as well a big fan of Castlevania as well, isn't he?
Tubbs is a Mega Man person. Like
Yeah.
Tubbs, 90% of the people that I know, he could easily beat like the first 5 or 6 games before they even beat one of them. And that's
Yeah.
kind of how I am with like Symphony of the Night. But it's a mixed bag because I like playing the game a lot, and I'd like to be able to play it more often, but I feel like it would get old too fast, even if I was doing randomizers, so it's hard to really sink the time into that unless I'm trying to become like a Soten speedrunner and try to like gain my name
Right.
on that alone, which I don't want to do. I've
get it.
run that game for years, but yeah, like I mean, a lot of it, like Risk of Rain 2 or even like Payday 2 or something like that, a big benefit to that is also it's less necessarily on just me when I'm streaming, because typically I'm playing with like Wolf or Smar, and we are just
Yeah.
smooth braining our way through that, and it makes those games so much fun just because we're like mentally the same, so we have the same sense of humor, we're on the same wavelength, that we can just like what's the?
You and
We can
Smart
spurt our
Bees
way
in the
through
pod.
it.
Well,
Oh,
Bees
yeah,
in
we
the
can-
pod,
we can-
you two.
Yeah, we get up to way more fun than we should legally be able to, like doing like.
Well, that
super
reminds me of
weird
the
stuff.
pirate ship. That reminds me of the game you were playing
Oh,
with
God.
pirates.
Yep.
Where
Sea of
you-
Thieves.
Yes, Sea of Thieves, that was the one. You and Smart were absolutely hilarious on that. And I wish
I
Smart, if
actually-
he's listening, I wish he'd stream more. Smart, please come
Yeah.
back and stream more.
I had somebody clipped a part of that Sea of Thieves stream.
Oh, boy,
And
Mids,
they were
hello.
like,
Thank
I
you for
need you to make a
following.
clip
Welcome
of
to my
it, like
night
a
parade.
voice
If you
clip
found
of
my
this
happy little
for me.
yokai
And
family.
it was
It
my
was brilliant.
when
How you
when
doing
we
today?
killed the
We're having a little
two
talk
kids
show.
that were playing.
Yes.
And I thought it was so funny that I play that shit through Soundpad all the time.
Well, it was the way you
10 out
did
of
it.
10.
You suckered them in. You blew up their ship and suckered them in and acted like good guys. And yeah, we'll help you and we'll help you get your stuff. And you did all of that. And then just when they were all set up, you were like, right now, I'm sorry, but my chat has told me you gotta die.
Oh yeah, even
It was just the way you
like,
did it.
right before we killed them, the first time before sinking their boat, though, just that
Yeah.
someone put me on the registry. That, like, I'll play that voice clip, like when I'm in VR on Soundpad, and like I normally get 5 or 6 people just like turning and looking at me, shocked, like, "Excuse me, motherfucker, what did you just say?"
Well, it was a unique phrase that I'm not going to repeat. I remember it. I'll let you if you want, but I'm not going to say it.
Oh
And it
yeah,
made me
yeah,
laugh
so-
my ass off.
The phrase was, these two kids, and they were clearly kids, were playing, and one of them snuck on the ship, and I just yelled it out. I said, "Someone put me on a registry because I'm about to fuck these kids." And then the kid started screaming right before I shot him. And Smar is just like, "What the hell did you just say?"
Boy.
Smar's reaction, though, made it even better because it was hilarious. Smar was actually shocked. And then he just realised you said it and he just started laughing.
Oh, man. I kind of wish I got to see that live.
That's
And I'm going to have
so
a drink
good.
to that. To your health
Yep.
lift.
I
There's a
just had a
clip.
drink to
I've
that.
seen the clip.
yeah.
Cheers.
I need to get that clip after stream then.
Oh, you've got
I
to
wanna
see
watch-
it. I
I've
wish
gotta
the
see it.
VOD was
Right.
still up. You should have saved that VOD. Liv, you should have marked that as special or something. Because that was
Oh, shit, I didn't
absolutely
even think
hilarious,
about that.
that whole thing. That was one of your funniest streams I've caught.
I'm jealous, Zomi.
So, Kazuna, what's your favourite game to play on stream?
I kind of did say like anything Resident Evil, just because I like the lore of it so
Yeah.
much. I'm kind of a
But the lore's
pansy when
really
it comes to horror to
convoluted.
begin with. There's a
Resident
lot
Evil
to
lore is super
follow on it, yeah.
convoluted now.
Yeah, which the two newest games are kind of sort of trying to fix it all. It's like back in the day, the original first 3 games, was kind of an amalgamation of between the 2 characters
Yeah.
you could play to go through games, and then
Well, I think part of it was the films come out as well and started, you know what Hollywood and every film producers do, they take liberties with it and sort of.
I like the films, but
I do like the films.
Yeah.
it's kind of like Star Wars to me, which sorry, not a Star Wars fan.
Yeah,
It's okay.
They're
Yeah.
good movies on their own. It's just I don't
Except the Disney ones.
like with the Resident Evil movies. It's like the names of the characters and the name of the movie are like
Hi, Snuggle Goddess.
yeah.
all that
Thank you
That's
very
it.
much
to
for
each
following.
other.
That's
Welcome
it.
to my
Yeah,
night parade. If you're
but-
following my happy little yokai family.
The other game
We're
would
doing a little talk show
I really
here.
like playing
with
is
our
Doom.
friends.
Just any of them.
Oh, no,
Because
I'm a big fan of the
I-
original Doom.
Oh
I
yeah.
love the original
True, Zombie.
Doom.
Very much true.
I love Ultimate Doom. It's so good.
That's a brilliant one
It's
as
still
well.
good, and it's been out for almost 30 years now.
I had a
And
blast
that
playing it.
shows if
It's
you
better
make a
than
new
most
game.
AAA games that come out today. Still.
I'm with
Yeah.
you there.
That's
I am
saying
with
something.
you there.
It's sad.
You talk about hours in games. I do not know how many times I was meant to be working and I was playing Doom instead over the years. But we used to have it on networks. I would always install that game on networks and we'd have a big free-for-all and everybody, you know, while the bosses and
Hi,
everybody else
Hunter.
were looking would be like,
Oh, come
right,
on,
team,
come on in.
Doom. We just send it on a messenger in the office and everybody would be playing.
Yeah.
I got in trouble in grade school because I started installing that on all the computers in the computer lab, and they would have to go through every week and uninstall it, only for me to come back in and reinstall it. And it got to a point where they had monitors, like more than one person in the room, like watching to see who was installing it, just to try and like punish them. And it was
Hey,
me
Smart.
in like second
Welcome
grade.
to the old man scuff
Agent of
corner.
Chaos.
Liffy's a robot today.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I was half expecting Liv to turn up as Big Tit Liv. A robot
No,
was
that
something
is
I
not an
didn't
avatar
bank
of
on.
VRC.
What's up, gamers?
I'm sure if you had a word with Cinnamon, Cinnamon would make it.
Oh, actually,
Make it.
probably.
Oh,
See,
God.
Somebody
Liv
talk to
wants a
Sen
big
and get
tit,
Sen to make
Liv.
it. I'll use that avatar.
I'll DM them after stream. I will DM
Exactly,
them
I'll DM
after
him too.
stream.
It's like, you need to make this a thing.
They'll be like,
I'll use
oh, why
it.
didn't I do this before?
The other thing I was expecting was Liv's flag, you know, the tiny alcoholics.
Oh, yeah.
Flag.
The
I
time
was
Oh
is-
yeah, the
expecting to see
ATFA.
that.
I still technically
Yeah.
have that avatar, but it's so small it doesn't sit right in these. And my original
That's fun.
avatar, the sign language one, they took it away from me. It is no
Yeah, I
longer
heard
available.
that.
Yeah,
I
that
had them
sucks.
taking it out.
It's gone.
Yeah,
Bummer.
it's no longer available. Helping Hands privated it, so ouch. Which, by the way, quick shout out to the Helping Hands community. A lot of respect for them, even if I did ruin one of their avatars.
Yes.
True,
Yes.
true. A lot
Yeah.
of respect. He
Yes.
ruined
Oh,
the
yeah.
avatar
It did.
respectfully. He didn't do it. He didn't do it maliciously. He did it
Yeah.
respectfully.
Mhm.
If there is a respectful way to actually ruin an avatar.
In fact, I think one of the first times I met you or saw you on VR Live, you had that avatar and you were in a public world blaring out music. If I remember
yeah.
rightly.
Yep, I do that. I used to do that fairly. I still actually do that fairly often. I'll just hot pubs, blare music, and just like tell people to drink on Monday
I
night.
think I was in the, I think it was a black cat or one of them.
Doing guts.
And I saw you in the avatar,
Exactly.
and I was like, "Who's that guy? I gotta meet him." And then at that point, I hadn't put two and two together, and I didn't realise that you in Nagsy's trap was you in VR. I thought you were
Oh,
six
yeah.
different people for a little while.
It's a fan account.
Yeah,
A fan account
Yeah,
of Liv.
I think I thought something like that.
That'd be hilarious.
You know, it's funny because back when I did have access to that avatar, I remember I was in a public world and somebody came up to me, and he was like, "I thought you were like a nightmare," and I'm like, "Excuse me, what?" And he goes, "Dude, you gotta understand. There was one night I joined in on a drinking nights with my friends, and all I remember from that night is like this." Colorful finger person making us drink so much that I got sick all over myself, and then he vanished, and we all thought
Yeah.
that you were like a collective nightmare or hallucination, and you are a kryptonite in my friend group. And I was like, no,
That
I'm
was the
very much a
drink
real
guy,
person.
wasn't it? That was the drink
Yeah.
guy he was known as.
Really?
And then the
Yeah,
sweet
they're
guy.
they're like, oh my god, it's the alcohol man, and like, oh my god,
It's the alcohol man,
it's
that was
him.
it.
It's like a shittier version of Bigfoot.
And then somebody else told me that they called you the
Sasquatch.
sweet-fingered guy or something. Because of the colour hands. A glitch in the Matrix is lit.
Oh,
That's
God.
brilliant. You're the sort
Oh,
of glitch we want in the Matrix, for
True.
definite.
100%.
Hell yeah,
We couldn't
brother.
have anything without you, buddy.
Nah, man. The party starts regularly with you.
Oh,
And
hell
I'm
yeah.
pleased to be able to attend.
Alrighty, so let's see what we got next. What would you say is your best ever stream was so far?
Oh, that is easy. My 14-year stream. It was chaos the entire time from start to finish. It was just I hopped into a public voice channel. I just told people, feel free to join on in. Let's play games. We played Muck. We played Phasmo. We played Left 4 Dead. I think there was another game. We were drinking the entire time, and we were celebrating one of the few things that I actually consider an accomplishment in my life. So it was just a party. And I had to immediately unlist that VOD and delete it. Because pointed out that one of my mods in Left 4 Dead 2 that I didn't even realize, it changed the pill bottle to the phone, and some of the pictures on the background of the phone that I was not aware of were anime titties. So I didn't even realize it. I was just drinking and having a good time before he pops and he goes, "Stop switching to the damn pill bottle." And I'm like, "Why?" And I switched to it. And he goes, "There's titties on it." And I look at it for a good 10 seconds and I'm like, "Oh, it seems you are correct, sir. I should stop doing that."
Goodbye,
Hey,
Vaughn.
Fox. Oh, what you should have done though is you should have downloaded it. That way you still had it.
Yeah.
Oh, I did download it, but then I immediately deleted it off Twitch. The original plan was to erase go through and blur it out and censor it. And then I remembered that I have 3 functioning brain cells, and all 3 of them are at they're overworked and underpaid. They're focusing on breathing and pouring my liquor. They can't figure out how to edit shit.
Oh, I wish I had more
That's
time to
too
actually
much.
do that type of stuff to edit. If I did,
Chachi,
I'd have a lot
how
more
weird
stuff.
is that? We had this conversation earlier.
Yeah.
We both said, I said to Charge, look, my strong suit's this, but I cannot be doing editing.
Yeah.
And I'm exactly the same as you, Liv. I cannot get on with it. So much so that if I'm going to have to edit, I'm going to have to get an XP machine set up and use the movie maker on that I've lost for a minute with.
It's there's a lot of things I want to do with stream, and it's just there's only 24 hours in a day, and
finding the time and setting aside that time when you've got so much going on in life, it's hard.
Editing is really, it takes a long while, and if you use the Twitch producer one even to make a short clip, it takes forever to do anything.
I think they just
think you should
released something
probably get on
an
that.
online editor or something like that. I don't know how good it is. I haven't looked at it, but I heard that it just came out.
Well, the one I was using yesterday, the Twitch producer one, it is annoying.
No, I wouldn't use that one.
It is really annoying.
I did catch one of the Vegas Pro things on sale one day on Steam, and I did buy it and downloaded it, and I opened it once, and I was like, "Nah, son, I ain't got
I
time."
don't know what it is.
Much work.
It is. Chachi gave me the one Chachi uses.
I have one
can't
that is
get on with
free,
that.
and
I've got-
it's nice, but it takes a while to even get used to the normal basic stuff of
Okay.
doing
Hey,
everything. So it's
folks.
just
Oh, is that Da Vinci?
It's Hit Film.
I've got
Hit Film,
Hit Film.
Never heard
And
of that.
another
I know
one.
a Hit
I've got
Film
about
is free, and
4
then they
on my
got
PC.
Yeah, it has
Yeah, they
free,
have
but
Hit
it
Film,
also
and they
has
have it
paid
free.
thing if you want to do
Yeah.
that. But the
And I think
I was
DaVinci
using-
Resolve is also free, but with paid options.
it uses a lot of stuff, but it has a great option when you start when you're finished up with everything and you need to compress everything and get it ready to send it off to YouTube and stuff. It has settings for either YouTube, MP3, MP4, whatever option you need it for, and you can have it as that or some other things, and the quality as well. Like, is it 980 by that, or is it 1600 by 900? It's nice, but it takes a goddamn long
I'm with
time.
Silver. I'd rather just use Windows Movie Maker.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why, but the one on XP years ago, it was really simple. You put a movie in, if you wanted to cut a bit, you just put a line down and cut it. You could easily put a music track on the background of it. It was easy adding a little title and typing something. Now, all of them don't, even though they have them options, they're so complex that they don't do it the way it used to be, and they make it more and more complicated. And as far as I can see, there's no other reason for doing it.
That's how my buddy made the infamous karaoke video of me, which I will not share with anybody, but yes, there is a video somewhere on YouTube of me in one of our White Girl Wasted Karaoke Wednesdays after a raid on WoW. We all got drunk. By the way, I think it took place on like a Tuesday. White Girl Wasted Karaoke Wednesday can take place any night, and it is me drunkenly singing "It's Raining Men" by the Weather Girls.
Oh, good song.
If anybody, Suitwoo read my mind. He says he's off to find it. Suitwoo, if you find that clip,
I guarantee it.
I heard that it's privated. Somebody did tell me that clip
You can
is
literally
privated.
search for it, but it's not in any way associated with Life Cross or like anything with me. I think only like 2 people know how to find it, and they know that I will break their arms if they ever
Oh gosh, Hunter, I've never heard of that one.
The link, Suitwoo, please send it to me. My DMs are open for that.
Anytime. Literally anytime. I would love to see that.
So, Kazuna, the same question to you.
Hey.
What was the question again? Because I forgot.
Yeah, we got off
What would you
topic a lot.
say is your best ever stream so far? What was
Best
your
ever
most
stream?
fun enjoying? Yeah.
I think the best ever stream I had was a while ago now, because I just started streaming again after 2 years. It was when I did Resident Evil 2 Remake on hardcore
Right.
and
Wow.
beat it on the stream. The best part about it was both of the last 2 bosses I killed with the last bullet each time. Like literally
Nice.
the last
Oh,
bullet.
hell yeah.
The last
How
bit of ammo
good.
you've got.
Yeah. Oh, it was so good. I felt so relieved. Oh my god.
I've been like, I'm down to my last bullet.
Oh.
Please do the job.
You gotta make it count.
Hell yeah. That's all or nothing, that is. That is leaving nothing left. Last shot, boss kill.
Everything
That's something.
spent. Everything.
I've been there. That's usually when I die in a really gruesome way in the game. So pull it off is something special.
I mean, usually if you run out of ammo in a game like Resident Evil, you just pull out the knife and you just run straight at them screaming, "Have at thee!" Yeah, exactly. And then you usually get bodied at that point, but
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
What
that
about
was,
you,
that was my
Charge?
favorite moment. Oh.
I'm going to throw this question over to you as well, Chachi. What was your favourite moment on the stream you've done?
So, you will definitely recognize this list, okay? You will definitely recognize this. A little while ago, when I was streaming Final Fantasy XIV, I started going
Right.
through more of the Hildebrand storyline stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
God, it was hilarious. The entire time I am laughing, I am having a blast, I am enjoying the crazy shenanigans that he gets up to. It goes along to the points that I would literally dedicate an entire 4-hour stream doing nothing but the Hildebrand if I could. Just like if Final Fantasy ever was like allows me to play a storyline part all over again, I would just be like, I want to start the Hildebrand questline from start to finish because it is that good and entertaining.
Yes.
I would 100% do that. I love it so much.
Heck yeah.
At one point when they came up and introduced his mom and dad out in the snow wilderness with the little
Yes.
thing, she pulled out the pan, the huge pan, and they were just like turned around and bolted. They were gone. They were just like, no.
We want nothing to do with this.
It was like, oh shit, we're gonna die. And they just bolted. They were so far gone so fast. She looked like she was having like demonic energies pouring out of her, and just grabbed her pants and started chasing them down.
Yeah, Hilda Mom is scary.
Yep.
Yeah.
The entire time I'm just
Scary if
laughing.
she's your
and
mum or
having
them,
fun.
or not.
It was a
That's
good
a mum
stream. It
you
was
don't mess
fun.
with.
Yes, that's very true. Just apparently never call her grandma.
Heck. Oh yeah.
Hi, Toot Toot. Come on in. Enjoy our little talk show that we're doing. Let's see.
So release your fear.
Yeah, you feel
And thank
free
you
to
for
carry on,
following.
Charge. Ask away.
Gotcha. Welcome to the night parade. I hope you have fun with the happy little yokai family. And our next question for our two good buddies here. When you are not streaming, who do you like to watch?
Yeah. Do you
I
watch
usually only
streams?
watch Nags anymore. It's about all I got
You
time for, really.
Nags is it? Yeah, I get that. If you're gonna choose one, Nags is not a bad one to choose.
It's like I pop into Chachi's stream, I pop into your stream, I pop into his stream. If I see people are on, if Boss goes off early or doesn't stream that day, if I'm actually on Twitch, I'll pop in and watch people from time to time.
I did that
The-
yesterday.
Yeah,
It's
the one I watch the most is still Nags. So
Fair enough. Yeah.
With Nags,
Yeah.
the chaos and chat
Well-
and the community and everything else makes it, doesn't it?
I also kind of, I'm not gonna
Kinda
say
have
have to, but kind of feel like I kind of have to.
Yeah.
Kind of
Obliged.
obligated
Yeah.
to, to have to show up being one of
Yeah.
those mods.
hmm
What about you, Liv?
So obviously Nags, but I lurk in a ton of places. I watch a lot of people from the community when I can. A lot of times it's because I'm working on something and I need background noise. So I'll like be watching and like listening while working on stuff. But there's like a lot of places both in the community and then outside of the community. Like you guys know my friend Corwin. And Coral,
Yeah.
like I watch her when I can, when she streams. There is a he calls himself the Twitter hee funny man. It's Cyanic. He's like a
Yes.
he's a VRC personality, and he just recently started streaming, and I've been watching him when I can. He's a lot of fun. Of course, there's Mom, Lunari Volker.
Yes, I was waiting for you to mention Mum.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was waiting to see if you were going to.
I lurk a lot. I lurk a lot there. But then, aside from like them,
Especially a
and, like, a lot of
subathon.
people. Oh yeah. Like she's doing like another
How you
like
doing today,
marathon
too?
thing right now, and I've got that open in the background that I'm lurking. But then I've got like good friends of mine like Dub TTV and Rusty Squeezebox. I try to watch them when they go live because they're just funny people. So I
Yeah.
always like lurking and tuning in there. But yeah, that's basically it. Like I lurk just about everywhere I can, really.
I must say, the amount of chats I see Liv in is
Oh, yeah.
crazy. I used to, a while ago, up until a few months ago, I used to say hi to Liv every time. But I'd be in 3 or 4 chats, and Liv would be in them as well. And in the end, I think you actually said to me, you just said hi to me 2 minutes ago in the other chat.
Yeah. I was like, didn't I just say hi to you like a minute ago?
Yeah.
It's like they don't know that.
But yeah, Liv, and you use that, what is it? The system to do it, don't you? The one that Lord and everything.
like
yeah, it's Chatterino.
Yeah, I use that.
I haven't got that set up yet. I have everybody on a different browser on a different screen. And sometimes I even have to put the projector on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, jeez. I know Super loves to watch a whole bunch of people when he can.
Oh, yeah. It was like yesterday. I was working and I got to see so many streams. It was really good fun, actually. I just was on Twitch all day and all night. And I had really good fun. I got to go round and catch up. I watch on average on a normal day.
I've seen you in Griff's a number of times, and Griffin is he is super cool. I like watching his stream, too.
I love Griff. I think Griff is brilliant. He's actually been on my stream a few times with me now.
Oh, hell yeah.
He comes and joins me for Dead by Daylight. And he's a super cool guy. I love Griff, and I like to show the man support. And I think what he's doing is very important, and I think that he's a great personality. And he belongs on Twitch as a streamer in my eyes.
Oh,
I think
definitely.
he was meant to do that. And I'm grateful to Nags introducing him to me. By showing him out and saying that and checking him out. But I do like to watch Griff play games. And I enjoy it when he comes and joins
stuff
me.
with the, what are they called? The R6 crew. I know that he plays with them fairly often.
I've enjoyed playing DPD with him a few times. And he's got a standing invitation. I've told him that anytime I'm playing a game on my stream, if he wants to join me, all he's got to do is say it. And I'd have him in.
Yeah, I want to get him in Risk of Rain, because I know he plays Risk of Rain 2 as well. I would actually
does.
I'd like to branch out. Playing with Smart is always a blast. I would like to get more people into that eventually, just to see how stupid we can get with the modded setup and everything.
I love the streams that you do with you and Smart. I think they're hilarious. They have me entertaining, and when you're trying to crash your PCs with it and all the other crazy hijinks you get up to, it makes me laugh. I've got to be honest, that's why I love streaming, because I love going to chats and watching streams, and I like it when people make me laugh. And I think TV's dead. I mean, television, as far as I'm concerned, is dead.
Oh yeah,
it's just full of repeats. Everything is repeated. So 20 years ago, 30 years shows are still being shown on a regular basis. I'm like, no. I hope that TV eventually realises that streaming is more than just a little pocket thing, and I think everybody would be more entertained if they learn about streaming.
Oh yeah.
On the other hand, for myself, being more or less a little bit more of the socialized butterfly of the small streamers, I am throughout everywhere. I watch my friend Blitz, I watch my friend Proto, I watch Lith, but I can. If I saw Kisuna was online, I'd watch Kisuna. I watch Someza. She.
Zomi has to be mentioned. I love Zomi's streams. They are always comfy. They're always good fun.
Zomi's so wonderful.
Yeah. And she's a goddess when it comes to sculpting. The sculpting she does for VR, the avatars.
I mean...
Wow.
She may not ever know, but I'm always lurking in the chat first. I'm always there.
Mhm.
Even if I don't
I got
speak,
to
I'm
raid
there.
zone me the other day and I was super excited.
Yep, so did I. I seen her
was
live and I
like,
was like,
yeah,
oh,
you
I know who I'm
you're
hitting.
after me.
I know exactly who I'm hitting.
You did exactly the same thing, and you said what I said. I looked and I said, "Chat, who are we going to raid?" And then I saw Zomi. I was like, "Right." I said, "I'm raiding Zomi," and then I was in Lift's chat. And then about an hour later, he did exactly the same thing. He was like, "Right, Zomi's on.
Met
We are raiding
all your friends
Zomi."
and the nerds. Okay.
Yep.
Nice.
Zomi's now really in my
Phoenix.
chat, by the way.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Sounds
Oh,
like
yeah.
Somi. Yeah.
She is 100%
Yeah,
green.
throwing it back to the BTL avatar thing. If the cinnamon thing doesn't work out, maybe I'll just get the money together and throw it at Zomi and be like, so
I tell you what,
BTL.
Sin did Mag DS for us, and Sin did the Milky Way Wiggle as well, and has done quite a few more. I'm sure if you ask Sin would have no problem doing it. As long as they got the time. I know Sin's busy as well. And Sin's in a lot of streams.
Uh-huh.
Right, moving on. Next question.
Yeah, okay, let's see. Just ask that one. So this one. When you are not streaming, what games do you like to play?
Yeah. What games do you play off stream? Is there a game that you play to unwind and relax? Or do you not bother? You think, oh, I've played games on stream. I've been at work and now I'm just going to put my feet up and listen to music or whatever. Or is there a go-to game? Like Nags' go-to game is WoW, isn't it? When he's not on stream.
Yeah. Farming sim.
Farming sim? What, the one where you drive the tractor? The one where you drive the tractor?
You know,
I
actually,
bought a racing wheel specifically to play that game.
Wow.
And it makes it so much better. Hell yeah, brother.
Ye a sorted?
You're
Oh god.
seriously invested.
Hunter.
I seriously did that. I bought a G27 5 years ago.
Find
Just
something
to
to
play
smash
farming
it
sim
though, or
with.
spray it down.
I'm now imagining
I hate
you
it when bugs get in my
sitting
room.
there in a racing chair with pedals and a steering wheel driving your tractor.
Oh my god, have you seen the video
yeah.
of the guy that plays the American Truck Simulator? He's got his computer area set up like a giant truck with like the
I've
cab
seen
and
that,
everything,
yes.
and then in the windows are the different screens, and he's got the shifter and everything, and it's like a full-on
it's like
truck
5
cab. It's
screens
beautiful.
across, and it's 3 in front, 1 out the side window, and 1 out the other side window.
Yup.
And it's
Holy
set up
crap.
like an
That is-
actual dashboard and everything. It's like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
Yup. I saw
That
that,
is
and
a
I was like,
setup.
I would love to do that. That would be so
Hell
fun.
yeah.
Oh, me too.
I
That
would.
would be so cool.
I'm pretty certain all of us would like that. I did have a seat years ago
That'd be
and
crazy.
pedals and a steering wheel for racing games. But to be honest, I got fed up with it. I found it easier on the controller. And the chair used to drive me nuts.
You know,
Yeah, I would
I
like
don't
a
blame
custom rig. And the chair always moved. You pushed the pedals too hard, and the chair would move back away from them, or
Yep.
something would happen. You go you go to flip down the gears, and suddenly you moved the chair. You've yeeted
That's another
yourself.
reason why I put foam pads and a rug in this room, so it wouldn't do that. Kidneys, man.
Yep, that's a big brain.
Kidneys.
That's it. That's 5 head there. That's 5. That's it. You saw it coming. You're like, no, that won't happen to me.
Because it's all hardwood in the house otherwise, so yes,
Yeah.
I did have that problem. Every time you would go to push the pedal, it had so much spring in it, you would just go whee backwards.
And you ended up yeeted. That's it. They used to happen to me
Yep.
all the time. I used to get so annoyed as well, especially on like the Formula One and the other racing games, because they're like 30 laps and one mistake on the Formula One car, and you were offered you were off of the track and in the gravel and out.
Mhm.
And you'd have to start again. They used to take about 45 minutes to an hour, and you had to concentrate all the time. And I'd get near the end and I'd accidentally press too hard and then yeet myself, and then I'd have to start all over.
I mean, I also did buy some NASCAR games because, you know, Keiko and a brother.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
So what's your game that you like to play off stream, Liv?
Yeah.
Honestly, off stream, I play pretty much the same games I played on stream, but like Final Fantasy 14,
Game that can
definitely. I've been
stream.
on that for years now, and I love it.
play offline, but the game is by
Castlevania
myself.
Symphony of the Night, I'm always like downloading like the kind and fair mod or the hard mode to make it more difficult, or like
I've never
randomizers and stuff.
played the
I'll
surviving
do Risk of
Mars.
Rain
Is it
fairly
any
often
fun?
with various mods.
Nice.
Peglin is a fun one. It's a little like Plinko style, kind of like Peggle, but like it's one of those
I'm not
games.
familiar with that type. I'll have to have a look.
Yeah, it's like you shoot a ball and you try to like hit pegs, and it damages the enemies on screen. So it's kind of like a little RPG / pachinko game.
That sounds like
So it's a
fun.
pinball?
Yeah, and then like
It's
not necessarily
pachinko, which is
pinball,
like the
but
Japanese
like
gambling.
yeah, like Peggle or Plinko.
Yeah.
But then I'll play like, you know, Dinkum a lot lately, and then like Harvest Moon from the Super Nintendo. Just a bunch of like old retro games on like Super Nintendo and stuff.
I remember
I like that.
Harvest Moon a lot. What kind of
I've
questions
just
do you have,
ordered a
Adeline?
console
One of my favorite games.
with all retro games on it. I'm itching for that to arrive and set that up myself.
Ooh,
Oh,
So I
hell
miss
yeah.
a lot.
astronomy.
It's kind of like a lot of the games. It's just, I love Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley's amazing. It's so chill. It's so comfy. But
It's like the game Liv was playing
I
yesterday.
can't help
They're
but
very
think
similar, I
if
felt
it's,
they
you know,
were.
if it's going to be interesting for people.
Exactly.
And that's why I
my
don't play it on
thoughts.
stream.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of games that I would like to play, but the thing is, it's hard to stay engaging in some of them or have the gameplay
Yeah.
be engaging because
Yeah.
they are games
Yeah.
that are meant to like chill.
I literally had that problem last night with my stream. At the end of it, I was playing Total War Warhammer 3, and it's a big like there's lots to do with it. You choose your faction, take over the world, do the story quest line and everything. But then after that, there's like not much to talk about,
Mhm.
especially if you're like me that doesn't know much about the Warhammer lore and all the other characters.
Yeah.
Story and
I've got to be honest, I think
That
you're
was just
selling
like-
yourself a little short there, Church. I watched that stream, and it's not like you were saying. People were enjoying watching it. I was enjoying seeing what different monsters,
Okay.
and the purple army you had was huge.
Yes.
There was so many characters
had-
in it.
So I was doing one of the massive story battles. I could have just auto resolved it and got it completely done with, and just it would have been heroic victory. I would have so much easy time. But I was just like, I want to do it because I don't really get to do that very much. You only get to do that 4 times in
Yeah.
the game, and that's it. There's no other time after
And
that.
your religion as well. Your religion and
get
the
it.
things you were reading out.
Yeah.
I had played Total War
Oh.
Rome a long time ago on stream, and
Mm.
in between, you know, the actual combat map
Yeah.
phases of it is just kind of like,
Yeah. So I
does
really
anybody
towards,
really want to watch about, you know,
towards the end of it, it was
building
just like,
buildings,
yeah.
micromanaging
actually
taxes and
Kind of falling
settlements?
asleep during my stream for that during the end. I was
Yeah.
like, oh god.
Yeah, you was. You were tired, though.
it's
You've
kind
had a
of-
long week.
Yeah. It's true.
It's kind of a question of, I'm having fun, but are the people watching also having fun? too?
Yeah, I
Exactly.
think all streamers worry about
And
that.
I'll answer that in
I
just a
worry
second.
about that every day. I think,
Mm.
why do people want to sit
Yeah.
and listen to a grumpy, happy old man play a game? I'm like,
You're not grumpy.
Mm,
I
Yeah.
can be. Sergeant T, I can be
That's fair,
grumpy.
but
but
I've
most of
never
the time
known
you're
you to
not.
be
You're
grumpy
been
personally.
You're a great person. Come on. Don't sell yourself short. Now, I will say this though. The developer of Stardew Valley is making another game called The Haunted Chocolatier.
Oh.
Mm. Apparently, you come to a different town in the same universe as Stardew Valley, and different character and everything like that. And from what it looks like, you are in, I want to say, a bigger mansion, and you have a wardrobe that leads to another world, which I will call Narnia from now on, no matter what. That's just Narnia.
Right.
You
well,
go in
like
there.
witch in the wardrobe, you can't.
Yeah, you can't have it not like that, right? So you go in there,
Yeah.
you battle monsters and stuff like that, explore around, find ingredients to literally come back to your house and make chocolate.
Right. That sounds like that's right up
Willy
your
Wonka,
street.
but with violence.
Exactly.
Willy Wonka crossed with Lion Witch in the wardrobe and digital war crimes. Sounds like a hell of a combination.
It sounds like it'd be an awesome
Sign
time.
me up.
And there's tons of stuff to explore in there too, which is something that I love to do. I love to explore stuff. One of my favorite things to do in
I
games.
love the new
Oh, hell
games
yeah.
that are coming out now. I like the way you've got indie game developers who are bringing out games and they're becoming almost mainstream because of streamers and everything else.
Yeah.
And we're not
Honestly,
stuck with just certain
Indie
ones.
devs are on the front lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way too often lately, we have seen a lot of AAA titles really shit the bed in what they
Yeah.
promised versus what you end up getting. And indie devs are sitting here like AAA. They're making
Kings of the
games to
world.
make money. They're making games
Yeah,
to
they
make
are.
money
Yeah.
because they have to. Whereas indie games are making
Yes,
games
Hunter.
because
Yes,
they
you
are the
did hear
games
that.
they always wanted. And I'm like, you know what? Hell yeah.
Sign
Hell
me
yeah.
the fuck up, right?
Power to the
In
indie game
AAA's
developers.
like
Yes. Oh,
CD
God.
Projekt Red, Cyberpunk shit the bed when it first
Oh,
came out. Excuse
God.
my language.
Oh
No,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Don't worry
Well,
about
that
it.
was
Literally,
terrible.
that
Eventually.
was so bad.
I did enjoy
Oh,
playing
yeah.
that game because I actually did finish the main story.
You know, what-
And
you know
it
what
was
Right.
a good
A
story.
lot of people bought
At
it,
the
pre-ordered
first, no,
it,
wasn't
and
a
then
good
dumped it.
freaking game.
I
And
I
No
will
Man's
say
Sky is the
this.
other one.
Oh God!
Oh my
yes.
god,
Yeah.
No Man's
Before-
Sky.
before we go on to
blew
that,
my
I hear it's
freaking
good
mind.
now, but I've not
Before
been
we go
back,
on to
so-
that, okay? Before we go on to that, I want to say this.
Mhm.
I wanted to play the Cyberpunk. I had a community that was
Mhm.
good at the time. They're gone now, and
Right.
that's fine. But for my birthday, one of them gifted me the Cyberpunk, and I was like, okay, cool, I could play this at some point. And I never got around to playing it. I literally, it's sitting in my Steam library, just sitting there, and I'm like, do I even boot this up? Because it's literally been a trash heap since it was released, and I'm not
Yeah.
even sure if it's gonna be
Well,
fun
they
or
did
good or
fix
not.
it, didn't they?
It's-
They did fix
It's
it.
a lot.
of
It's a
people
lot
went
better
back.
now because I played it at launch
Mm.
and stopped playing it, and then earlier this year I went back and finished it, and it's a lot better. But there's a lot
Yeah.
of mechanics to it that you got to think about, and then when it clicks, the game gets a lot easier, and you get
Right.
invested in it.
There's
There's certain stories in it that just hit like really
It's one
hard.
that-
Yeah.
there's one in there that I was kind of hilariously wanting to do because it's of a YouTuber that I usually like watch his stuff, of Jesse Cox. Literally, he has apparently this whole storyline where his robotic dick is having some problems and malfunctions and causing him pain.
He's in Cyberpunk.
Yes,
He's
in
in
that game.
Cyberpunk.
He's in that
There
game.
is a storyline about that in Cyberpunk.
That's
Oh
the
my
exact one that
God.
I'm referencing.
I did it.
I'm just like, I want to get in there and I want to do this for the laughs. I really do. Just because I know it'll be funny.
It was so good because I didn't know it was him at first, and then I looked at it afterwards. It's like, oh, this makes a lot more sense now.
This guy's
It's
pissed
good to
off,
know
but
that
now we
even
know know why.
dystopian futures, they have relatable problems.
But yeah. But you guys take your drink and then let's go on about the No Man's Sky.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Now, I had a lot of fun
And
though,
yours,
Adeline,
Yeah.
with talking about Kirby.
With
the entire
No Man's
time,
Sky,
it was
when that
so
first
much,
released,
God, I loved it.
that was such a shit show.
Everything
And
about
it was,
that, I was
they
enjoying.
promised so
I was having
much,
a great
and
time.
they didn't
And
deliver
there's
on like any of it.
Nothing
And then they
bad
just go
about that
radio
game at all.
silent for what was it, like 6 months? And then out of nowhere, it is just an absolute torrent of patches and stuff like that. And then reaching out to the community, hey guys, does this seem cool? And people are responding like, yeah, that seems like it'd be really cool. And they're like, okay, well, guess what? We've been working on that. One of our teams has been working on that for the past 2 months. Here's the patch. You are gonna get it anyways. And like that right there is, I think, the gold standard of what any dev should aspire to be. They released their product. They acknowledged, hey, we promised a lot,
My
and we
favorite
couldn't
part of
deliver
it
in our
was
expected
literally
launch range.
upgrading Kirby's powers.
But then they just
I love to see the new abilities they
delivering
can,
and
like,
fixing the
his
problems
powers
and
from
listening to
before,
the community and
getting
actually
stronger and
going
stronger
that
with
extra
stuff
mile to say,
was
like,
a
listen,
nice
you
touch to
had
it.
your faith in us by pre-ordering, by commenting, by keeping the discussion and the hype real. So this is what we want to do. We want you to have all the fun you ever wanted with this game, and they're just blasting it out. Like mad respect.
Wasn't that
to,
when the
No Man's Sky
CEO went
devs.
nuts at them all? He went absolutely crazy with a response, and he locked them all away basically and said, look, you're going to fix the game. You are going to make this work, and you're going to make it better than we originally started with, and that's why they went quiet.
From what I understand, like, they originally wanted to push it back again, but since it had been pushed back a number of times, and I could be mistaken on this, but they all really put their nose to the grindstone and delivered on every promise that they realistically could as quickly as possible. And from what I understand, they're still releasing stuff for it, and they gave full support to the modding community. And they're like, you know what? If there's something that's in this game that you are not in this game that you want in the game, make it. And
if you can put it in it, go and do it. And that's brilliant.
Yeah, and I think even some of those mods, they've actually incorporated variants of it into the main game because people like those mods so much that they're like, and I think that they even shout out the original mod developers that they based that off of. Unlike
that's
some
really
companies,
cool.
we won't even get into Fallout.
No,
is
don't
the
go
exact
there.
opposite.
Don't go there. They just ignored everybody and then made a terrible one.
Oh no, it
It's
gets
like
worse than
Dragon
that.
Age.
There
I've
was
been
an
waiting
actual.
for Dragon Age for 8 years now or something stupid. And they keep showing
I don't
us
want to
snips.
harp on them too much, but I will say Bethesda, I lost a lot of respect for them because of was it the Fallout series where they
the one with the
Probably the
New
Fallout
Vegas.
series, yeah.
And I think it was the New Vegas. There is a DLC story that was $20 to buy. It was literally taken from the Nexus or ModDB. Somebody went through, a fan, and created that whole storyline, created assets, put it in, and did all that. Bethesda literally took that, sold it as
Released
DLC,
it.
and refused to give him any credit. And when he was like, hey, at least shout me out, they were
that's
like, well,
just
no,
wrong.
because you used our modding tools, it's our property. He didn't get any of the money, he didn't get any of the recognition. It was such a shitty thing to do.
That is cruel. That is cruel.
Hello Games did it right with No Man's Sky. They recognized it was a problem,
Yes.
and then they fixed it.
Well, they
I
got
have
so
taken
much
them
abuse.
a
I mean,
while,
so
but at
much
least
at
they
the
did.
start. Yeah, they all just knuckled down and said, look, we're going to do it.
I won't say Bethesda. I will say BioWare.
Yeah.
I loved playing Mass Effect Andromeda.
Mass Effect was all right.
There's problems
Wasn't
with
bad.
it. I will admit there's problems with it, but I enjoyed playing it. But it was so just absolutely a disaster when it came out, and they didn't fix any of it.
Oh, yeah.
And they just stopped development on it completely.
How would you deal with that if you
Yeah,
were streaming that? Would you say it on stream, oh, this is terrible when you're playing the game first off, or would you give yourself a chance to talk about
I
it?
wouldn't say it. No, I wouldn't say it, but I'd probably get quiet and not talk much.
I could go with
Yeah.
this though, and we'll talk about this real quick, okay? Another one that's
Go
really
on.
very terrible that the entire game devs completely abandoned. There's Battlefront 2 with the Star Wars. God,
Oh god.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I know
that
what you're
was
talking about, but I still
that
love
was a disaster
Battlefront
when it
2.
released.
I've got to be honest, I
The
still
old
love
one or the
that.
new one?
Battlefront 2.
The old one. Yeah.
The old one was
The old
amazing. The
version.
new one, when
Yeah.
it first came out,
Yeah.
was oh my
Yeah,
god!
it was
It
a-
was terrible.
It was a
Holy
big sty.
crap!
It was terrible. There was two.
There
Everything
was
was
so
wrong.
much wrong. Everything was terrible.
Yeah.
It's still
Yeah,
wrong. There's still hackers going around being
Microtransaction
like,
hell.
there's still hackers going around, and they're just literally making servers that are just everybody fights each other, but when they get close to dying, you have 1 HP and you're infinitely there. You don't even die. So the whole thing, you have to just
Wow.
leave the
So-
server.
It's like, what's the point at that
Zombie
point?
says I was
Yeah.
a huge fan of the original series, and Andromeda was a shit show, but still playable. I think that's quite
I would
accurate.
rather play the entirety of Andromeda than relive the last 10 minutes of
other
Mass
ones.
Effect 3 again.
Yes.
I'm not
The
going to argue
ending-
with you.
The ending of Mass Effect 3
It's
was
like, oh my
so
god, this all
bad.
came down to
that it
Space Ghost, and literally none of
literally-
my choices mattered in the
Yeah.
last 80 hours of gameplay. Awesome.
No, I
What
hate
color
about
ending
games.
do I want? Do I want
They put
Green,
all the
yellow,
work
or
on the
red?
storyline and everything, and then the ending is really crap. I hate that.
It's the only game that I
Can't
know where
stand that.
they
Not
had
good.
to actually patch out the game to switch an ending. Literally switch the ending completely.
Amazing.
I can appreciate in 3 where the old guy talking to the Star Child
Yeah.
is Buzz Aldrin. I can appreciate that. That is legitimately Buzz Aldrin,
was
the
cool.
second man on the moon.
It was cool that he
Yeah.
was in it,
Mhm.
and it was cool that they gave him a spy, and the conversation was
Yeah.
all right.
That was
But he didn't
okay.
have much to do
Everything
with it.
leading up to that point,
Yeah.
not okay.
Yeah.
And there was like one true good ending, and you still didn't feel good about selecting it.
Okay, I got
I love
Yeah.
the games though, where you get multiple endings, you get multiple choices, and they're the sort of games I really enjoy a lot.
They-
where you know
they
you
should
can
vary
replay it 10
differently.
times,
When
and you can still get a different
Yeah.
ending and a different storyline.
yeah, it's just but they gave you 3 choices, and all that really happened consequentially was what color was some of the effects
Yeah.
in the last FMV. It's like,
Well, it's not really
no
a different
thanks.
ending then, is it? It's just
Yeah.
it's just a
No,
different colour. There's nothing else to it.
yeah.
So,
They just
That's
got
part of the reason why I like the
Instagram
Dragon
filter
Age.
on the ending FMV. And
There you go. That's exactly
Different
that's essentially
selfie
what
filter.
happened.
yeah, I mean, I've had experience with the final entry into a series, like really shitting the bed and not living up to what it could have been. This is something that Silver probably remembers this game.
Go on.
You guys might not. So this is a really old school
Depends.
game, but from Sierra Interactive, the company that made King's Quest and like Heroes Quest and everything.
Uh-huh.
They had the game
Okay.
series Quest for Glory. And
Yes.
Quest for Glory 1, 2, 3, and 4 were all fantastic, and fans
They were
desperately
all
wanted
baller
number
games.
5.
They were brilliant.
Oh, I love
They
them.
were
I would love to
brilliant.
play through them on stream, but
Hell
the
yeah,
way I
brother.
play would
Never heard of it.
kind of be boring for some people, but they had Quest for Glory 5 after so many fans like wanted the continuation,
Oh,
the
there was a
finality
big
of the
gap
story.
as well, wasn't there? It's fan
Oh,
driven.
yeah.
The fans hassled
Yeah.
them. I remember that.
Yep. And well, because technically, like Sierra almost like closed a number of times.
Yeah, they did.
And,
And
when,
they just
when
used that
Dragon's
to cash
Fire,
in.
yeah, and when Dragon's Fire finally came out, it was an absolute buggy mess. And there were so many problems. The game crashed constantly, and it was almost unplayable. But the thing was, they wanted to patch it, and they wanted to get it fixed and everything. But Sierra refused to give what I believe was like a 2 or 3 person development team for the entirety of the creation of that. They refused to give him any more budget, from what I understand. So, like,
From
the
what I
game still remains as an unplayable mess.
From what I heard, they said that it was going to cost about the same amount as it did to develop the game as it was to fix it.
Yep.
And they weren't
Oh,
willing
God.
to invest that. Now there is a bit of a story to that. The first 4 were hits, and they were making other games. They weren't at that time. They started branching out and making other games, and they had foul after foul with different titles.
Yep.
And the fans kept hounding them, saying, look, go back, make the 5th. The story isn't complete. We want to know what's going to happen. We want to know where we're going to go with this. We want it to continue. And eventually, I think they were under financial restraints as it was at the time.
Yep.
And then they might have even had, I heard rumours that they were like 5 weeks off of having debt collectors come in and take all their stuff from their
Yeah,
office.
they
sort of
were
thing.
Oh, God.
because Sierra only allotted this like 2 or 3 person
Yeah.
team unlimited budget to make it, and Sierra was like getting ready to just close them down and just be like, we're gonna take whatever you
Yeah.
have and ship it. So they had to do that. The biggest issue was they used, it was originally it was like an old point and click adventure game originally
Yeah,
with the
it
EGA
was.
release, where it was all command driven. Ask about potion, go west,
Yeah.
do this, do that. And then they had VGA releases later of some of the games to where it was, you know, literally point and click. Well, with 5, it was
Yeah.
point and click, running on a brand new engine that they had never used before. It was literally an engine that nobody at Sierra had used, and they
And it
were
wasn't being
literally given
used.
the engine, and they were like, make it work. There was no
Right.
documentation,
That's not
there was
gonna
nothing,
work.
so they basically, yeah, they had to do what they could with it, and they were told, you have to use this 3D engine. So
The
they
bit
got
that
screwed on
annoyed
it.
me about it was, though, they put up pre-orders when they announced they were going to do it. Straight away,
Yeah.
knowing what they were going to do, they set up a pre-order thing and they emailed every fan, everybody who'd ever bought
Yep.
the game who was on their list, and they all pre-ordered it and unbought it. And then they didn't even use that money to develop it. What they did was use that money to keep the company from going under, and gave the developers a
Yep.
very small amount of money and said, look, and they completely, utterly, basically slapped their whole fan base in the face.
Yeah.
It was terrible the way
It-
they did it. It was really bad
It's
managed.
kind of like what happened with Andromeda. Like they were using the Frostbite engine that they made Battlefield with, which was totally different
Oh,
from what
yeah.
they were using, which they'd never used that engine to make any kind of RPG ever before. And then it's also like Fallout 76, which
Oh,
the
yeah.
aforementioned company had taken their own engine that had always referred to, you know, a person in the singular, and now they
Yeah.
had to rewrite it all. Instead of
For
saying
multiplayer.
I, they would
Yeah.
have to say they or them in the programming, and that was most of the problem with that game to start with. You know, other than it deleting
Yep.
itself on launch day.
Oh, God.
I mean, games have changed a bit since then as well. Now they
Yeah.
have bigger budgets than movies, don't they?
Mhm.
Some of the AAA games, you know, it's 100 million budget and stuff.
Like Metal Gear series.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the old Metal Gears were good. I used to love them.
And then, there's
They were good.
Franchise.
Solid
like-
Snake.
Call of Duty that can't even make their game, you know, actually less than 100 megabytes or gigabytes when they really could.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
They
talking of
have
Call of
all of
Duty,
that.
Black Ops 2 is still my favourite of all of them. I used to love
I like Black Ops
Two.
1, and
Yeah,
because
me
of
too.
the zombies mode. That's pretty much it.
Exactly why.
Zombies, I've got to be honest, I'm not a fan of. I played Resident Evil games, I like zombies. But then Hollywood and everybody just went zombie mad for years. And zombies were in everything. And I was like, you know what, I'm fed up with killing zombies. I'm fed up with just fighting zombies all the time.
I liked World at War because I had like a super beefy computer at the time, and if you ever played World at War, their smoke grenades were busted as shit. It would just layer these smoke effects on top of each other, and it would lag you. So I had a loadout with a shit ton of smoke grenades, and I would basically win it for my team by just chucking endless smoke grenades as much as I could and lagging everybody to the point that they'd crash.
Literally smoked the enemy. He smoked them and their computers.
Oh yeah, I would lag out opponents, and I used to do the same thing in like Command and Conquer General Zero Hour with the GLA. I'd make mobs where it's like 8 different units, but they're all rendered like individually within this little crowd of theirs, and I would make a shit ton of them, and I would have them selected off screen, and I would send them to the enemy's base. Well, then they get the ping that their base is under attack. They go to look at it, and their game just crashes because there are so many units on screen that their computer can't keep up with it. And I was receiving like death threats through the lobby system. People were so pissed at me, and they're like, "That win was bullshit. You didn't deserve that win." And I would just respond with like, "Sucks to suck, bro. Get a better PC." And I ended up getting banned. I had to buy that game 4 different times because my accounts kept getting banned because I was so toxic in doing that.
Red Alert.
I remember.
I
remember Xbox Live getting hate mail. Yeah.
First off, we have
Next
Hunter in
question.
chat that really is like, "With you're an evil bastard for doing that."
High five, brother.
Hell yeah!
Yeah. Hell yeah.
If it's Liv, you gotta remember it. Digital war crimes are all fun. There's no rules on the
I
battlefield.
like to say I'm Paragon for life, but I know he likes to say Renegade for life. So
Renegade,
the yin and the yang of things.
Yeah.
So the next question:
Respect.
what
Hell
game
yeah.
releases are you most excited about?
Yeah, what new games?
I'm so disconnected from what like games are coming out because I've owned Witcher 3 and Red Dead Redemption 2 for years at this point, and they're not even installed. I just bought them and just never installed them.
Oh, you're not the only one. I've got a ton of games. I think I've got
it's kinda
1,000
like
games for the PS2 and 800 for the Xbox 360.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I'd like to play. It's just it's a
Getting the
time
time.
constraint because full-time job,
Mhm.
own property.
Ooh,
There's only so
I
many
don't think
hours
I've
in a
heard
day, which
about
is why
that
I
one,
don't have
Hunter.
Star
You gotta let me
Rapids.
know what that is.
Star
when I
Rapids Mega
can.
Mod.
Don't
Uh-huh.
stop.
Nice, we made Kazuna Re. I'm gonna drink to that.
Hell yeah!
I've not looked at like any legitimate like gaming news site in years. The last one I did read was Kotaku, and that was probably 6 years ago at this point that I stopped reading it.
Well, I did tell you something you got
Fair enough.
to look forward to: the Haunted Chocolatier. That could be something
Yeah,
cool.
you're right.
That sounds
You're
like
right.
good.
You're right. Yeah.
What about you,
Yeah,
Liv?
like, I mean, the big one that I was looking forward to was, you guys can still hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
hear you.
Okay. The big one I was looking forward to was Stray, and I loved Stray. Stray was such a fantastic game. I got to be the bastard and knock shit off tables and scratch carpets and just I loved that game.
I've written
what
that
a cat
down and
does.
underlined it as one of the games I've got to get. I watched Liv play it, I
Yeah.
watched Luna play it, I watched Meg play it, I watched all different streamers playing it, Mermaider as well, and it looks awesome.
This is how
And who doesn't want
disconnected
to be
I
a
am
cat?
from gaming anymore. I didn't even know that
actually
was a
me.
thing until it released. I had no
Oh,
idea
fair,
it was
yeah.
something that existed.
Yeah.
I
I
had
had
been
no
following it for like a couple months, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm pre-ordering this because I want to play this game."
I can appreciate looking at it on the Steam store page,
Yeah.
and it's not $79.99 like some games have been for
Yeah.
almost a decade.
I know
Yeah.
some games
Yeah.
are overpriced when they come out and never go
Some
down
of
in
them-
price and are never
Some of them
worth it.
stay that high, and they never go
Yeah.
down. They're never on
Yeah,
sale.
this is
It's
it.
like it's kind of
Other
the reason
ones
why I
though,
never bought it.
coming out
is
hot
I'm
start
not
at half
paying
the
80
price
bucks
and they
for
turn
that.
out to be amazing. I'm with you there, Kazuna.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could
I don't
take
like
a
being
guess for
ripped
that
off
money.
with games.
So yeah,
I don't mind
Yeah.
spending the money on the game if I know the game's going to be good and it's going to be worth it. But
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
want
like
to spend that sort of
I've
money
been
on a
burned a
game.
lot on pre-orders,
Yeah.
so like I don't really do pre-orders a lot. But a game like that, I couldn't help it because like
You had to
I
press
just
the
had
button.
a feeling, and yeah, and it's and I'm so glad I did because to me it did live up to the hype, and it's definitely a game where the journey is more important than the end destination.
Yeah.
And I loved the world. I loved the interactions in it. So I really like Stray.
I
As
think
for
the
like games
details.
I'm looking for, yeah, I think the games I'm looking
Never
forward
grab
to.
Rust. It's terrible.
Yeah, there's one game coming out. It's called Little Kitty Big City, and it's like an adventure exploration game, and I love it
heard of
because the
that one.
release date. Yeah, so the release date on Steam is literally like normally you'll get like release date summer 2022 or release date TBA release date soon or whatever like that. Little Kitty Big City, the release date is literally on Steam. Cats don't have deadlines in all caps. And I love that. It's so true. Yeah, it's
I
great.
gotta be back real
great.
quick. I'm sorry.
You're good.
Oh, okay.
No problem, Kazuna.
Yeah, aside from that,
Splatoon 3?
I would have to
Did they make
say,
a third?
there's a game called Little Gator Game where it's kind of like it's like a 3D, like 2.5D kind of adventure game, and you play as a little gator wearing a hat with a shield and a stick as a sword, and you run around the world, and it kind of gives me like Zelda vibes, and it just seems adorable, and I really want to play it.
You send
Then
me
you've
that?
got like
That sounds
for a,
cool.
Send me a link
Yeah,
to
Yeah,
that.
send us the links. Yeah, me too. And I want the
I'm,
Chocolate Factory link one as well.
Yeah,
Oh.
that one's that one's
I'm
not on
sending
Steam
the-
for actual
Oh shit!
category yet, but
I sent you the wrong thing.
no worries.
Hold on,
When
let
they
me-
actually do put the Chocolatier thing on Steam for release dates and actually have it on Steam for people to look at, I will send it to you guys.
Sweet.
Yeah. I just sent you both the link for a Little Gator game, and
Okay.
it seems a
Yeah,
lot
I
of fun.
saw that.
Then
Thanks, Liv.
I
the
know
other two,
that
there
my
is,
friend Blitz will definitely
sorry.
want to play that. My friend Blitz is all
Hey,
about
Daryl,
gators
welcome
and
to the
everything
old
like
man
that. So
Scuff Corner. How you doing,
he
bud?
will get a blast out of that game, definitely.
Oh yeah. The other two games that I'm really looking forward to, that I haven't been able to follow really closely, but I've played the demo on one of them, Hunt the Night, which is kind of like this action RPG style. It's dark fantasy gothic, and it's super cool. You play as like a hunter hunting supernatural beasts. Top down like 2D style graphics. That one I'm really looking forward to, and then the other one is called Fading Afternoon, and the second I seen this on Steam back September of last year, you play as a middle-aged Yakuza member who was just released from prison, and he's trying to like, I guess he's like trying to find his way getting out of like the Yakuza lifestyle or whatever, and it's like I think it's like a 2D side-scroller game, and it's just
You
it just
told
seems
me
super
about this
cool.
game. We were
Yeah.
drinking at the end of last year and you told me about this game. I remember this. game does sound fun.
Yeah, you're like playing as like this, just like Yakuza guy just out of prison who's trying to like get out of that life or whatever, from what I understand. And it's like a side-scrolling beat 'em up. So I guess it's kind of like if you've ever played it, like the River City Ransom games. That's kind of like the feeling I'm getting from that. But it's got like the same kind of like side-scrolling like 8 to 16-bit graphics, and I'm really looking forward to what that game could be.
Sounds like good vibes. I mean, Chachi, what game are you looking forward to? You all know mine's Dragon Age.
Yeah, yours
but
will
I'm not
always be
even
Dragon
sure I'll
Age,
even
but...
be alive by the time Dragon Age comes out, if it ever does come out.
I know
for the past 4 or 5 years, I've been telling us they're
you
going to
can
release
literally
it.
be on your deathbed and hear that the game is coming out the next day, and you'll be like, oh, "Okay, I'm not dying. I'm
gonna survive.
I'm gonna survive everything,
no, brother,
and I'm
not
gonna finish
everything until I've completed
that." But for me, it's not just
combined,
one
I've got
game.
over 4,000 hours in the games, so.
For me, it's not just one game. I have my eye on quite a few games.
Go on then.
So, at the end of next month, August 30th, an old classic gets re-released, aka Destroy All Humans 2. It's being remade, re-released.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
It's being...
Have they redone it?
They've
enhanced, they've redone
they've done a lot with it by the looks of things. There's a trailer for it on Steam. The game has been had a trailer for it since last year. I was like, yes, I need to play this, and I even made plans with my friend Leader, who me and him have been trying to find a game for us to play again since we last played Serious Sam 4 together, which was an absolute blast. We've been looking for something to play again together for another like co-op playing through and everything, and I was just like, perfect. That has co-op. You and a friend can literally play that game together and go have tons of shenanigans and fun things happening. So I was like, yes.
Yeah.
And when I messaged him,
to the old man scuff corner.
when I messaged him about it, he was like, yes, this is perfect for us. Let's do it. I'd be held down for this. So me and him are going to do that.
One though, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. That's one other one.
There was one other game.
There's one other game I was really looking forward to because it's like a Metroidvania. I'm not going to say its name, but I will say I was looking forward to it, and I started sharing materials with a buddy, and he was like, didn't think you were into this kind of game. And I was like, what, Metroidvanias? And he goes, have you looked at all of its tags? And I was like, it's a Metroidvania game. That's what I like. And he goes, it's a Metroidvania game with adult content and sexual, like, and I was like, you know what, never mind, I'm not excited for this anymore.
I don't want to play a hentaivania.
No, thank you.
It just sounds wrong.
It just sounds wrong always. No, thank you.
See, I found a fan-made Metroidvania game, like, years ago, and I was having a blast with it, and then I got hit by a monster, and the monster, like, when I got knocked over, started doing something, and I alt F4'd so hard. I was like, no. I was having fun until that shit happened. Get the fuck out of here.
I hate that, though.
That's
somebody
why I'm
mods a
playing
game and adds that stuff
Fallout 4 vanilla. No mods at all. Because you have literally no idea what all they add to it until you experience it, and most of it is as you described.
I seen a buddy playing Skyrim get beaten by bandits, and then things started happening, and I was like, you know what? You have fun. I'm going home.
No, thank you. We don't need any of that. Whether we're streaming or not, that does not need to be it.
There used to be a point where I grew up when games first came out. You know, it was something our whole family played. If you bought a game and you had a console or a computer, the whole family would be round it. You can't do that nowadays with a lot of games. And you might think a game's safe-ish and then suddenly you enter a room or go somewhere and something happens and then you're like, whoa, hold on a second, cover the kid's eyes, you know.
Right, yeah.
Dude, that happened in Wolfenstein when I was...
That happened in Metro when I was playing it on stream. I'm just like, okay, you know, we're going through this, and then 2 seconds later, bam, titties on the screen, and I'm panicking, like, trying to find my, like, change scene button, like, no!
My understanding of the Twitch rules, if it's something unavoidable in the story, that's okay. But if it's something you elect to do that's not pertinent to the story, then it's a problem.
It's all on you.
And that's the thing, is, like, I get sidetracked by side quests so often. And with, like, no offense, but Twitch's enforcement of policies is very mixed depending on your size. I'd rather just not risk it.
Yeah.
I'm with you there, Liv. I mean, I try very hard not to.
We wouldn't get away with it, but there's people way up
There
there
are
with
ones
hundreds
who would.
of thousands of viewers that do.
We won't go into that. It's just a case of that is the economics of Twitch. That's all it is.
Yeah.
That's the economics.
And I do get it. I get the policy. But hey, it happens.
Amazon want their money back. They spent a fortune. What was it, $1 billion buying Twitch?
Yeah, exactly.
They want their money back.
It's kind of like, you know, if I were to go back, which I have in recent years, and go back to the cartoons of my childhood, like Thundercats and G.I. Joe, and a lot of those, and it's you watch it, and it's kind of like, oh my god, this was okay for me when I was that small.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
You go to cartoons in the 90s and the 80s, some of them were really risky and parents didn't even bat an eyelid.
I had like a wide range of conflicting arguments growing up. I wasn't allowed to play Diablo. I was allowed to play Doom. I wasn't allowed to play
graphic.
Hunter, that'd be.
My parents would sit and watch South Park with me.
I'm the same way there.
And my mother, my mother can do a killer Cartman impression, and she will never admit it to anybody. Never.
Oh.
So there's a lot of old games that I know about. It's just I never played them.
Yeah.
But now you can.
I wasn't allowed to play them.
On the other hand, for me,
but, you know, I could.
I basically wasn't allowed to play anything that had me killing other humans. I could play anything else out there because my mom didn't care, but just not killing humans. So I could play Call of Duty for the longest time.
One of the four.
Everything like that.
Young
age. I didn't have that problem.
Young age, single mom, 3 boys for her children. My mom was like, you know what? They're not beating the shit out of each other. Yeah, you can go play Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, they're not trashing the house or beating each other up.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's also why I wasn't allowed to have Nerf
I am
or
so
anything
sorry.
like that.
Oh yeah.
It's weird. It's weird I couldn't, you know, play Diablo or watch Simpsons because the first 3 movies, the first 3 movies I remember watching before I was the age of 5 was Tremors, Jaws, Arachnophobia.
Oh yeah.
Those are the first 3 movies I remember watching.
Yeah.
I had a lot of weird fears when I was young. A lot of weird fears. Especially when you live on the farm when you could sit in the bay window and play Watch for the Car to go by. Yeah, Tremors hit really hard.
Funny you mentioned Jaws. Arachnophobia was terrible. I didn't like spiders before I saw
It was a bad movie,
Arachnophobia.
but still though, yeah.
No.
Yeah, that got you. That got you when you were trying to go to sleep and you saw a spider in the corner of the room. That was like, hell yeah. I was an adult when I watched that. And I was like, yeah, I'm not watching that again. I've done it. I've watched it. Never again.
I've personally seen spiders as big as what's depicted in that movie, and it's like, if I went home and got my shotgun, it would just make it mad. So I'm just out of here. I'm done.
Well, that's like camel spiders. I've seen a camel spider and they are literally the size of a shovel. And then buggers bite the camels and... Oh no, they were like arachnophobia, and that was a few years later, and I was like, hell yeah, I can't be dealing with that.
I don't want to get the muzzle loader out unless I absolutely need it. That's something I'm not going to quantify as I absolutely need it.
I would want a Gatling gun. I would want a Gatling gun with loads of ammo.
Yeah, that's when you bust out the fucking, 12-gauge Dragon's Breath rounds. But no, I had a buddy that was serving overseas in the Army.
Yeah, Ali.
He had to
it's not
go to the
ever
bathroom
to be
one day,
what's
and he
afraid
went
of
over
the
to the
dark.
outhouse.
It's always to be what's
He
afraid.
opened it up,
what
and
the dark
apparently
is
there was like
hiding.
a
That's what you
massive
should be
spider
afraid
in
of.
there, and he shit
just like you
himself
say.
in fear.
But
and came running back, and he
I'm
was like
hiding in the
burning his
dark.
clothes and blah blah blah.
Why
and
you-
like
you-
4
you're
people
afraid
were
of
like,
me?
"Did you just see the spider in the outhouse?"
Yeah.
Yeah, we were gonna tell you, but we all shit ourselves when we first seen it, so we figured you had to as well.
Well, the thing is with them camel spiders, they bite the camel and they've got an anesthetic venom. So the camel doesn't even realise it just numbs their leg, and then they eat the leg away, and you come out in the morning and there's a 3-legged camel.
oh god,
Yeah,
And
those
he's
things
got
are
no
too
idea
fucking
his
big.
legs,
I
boss.
think he was like, yeah,
Oh,
we
God.
dealt with it by putting a smoke grenade, like a smoke bomb, in the porta potty, and then we just lit the entire porta potty on fire and just burnt it down. Like, it smelled terrible, but we were sure that thing was dead then. We weren't going to deal with it.
Well, you know, the Arabs hit them with shovels. They smash them with shovels and splat 'em.
Oh, I believe
Brave
it.
bastard.
It's
Yeah.
the only thing big enough.
Yeah, that and a machete.
Oh, God, no thank you.
Justifiably prove using an M1 Abrams to, blow up an outhouse. But,
Yeah.
I mean, that's fair.
Well, that's a
If somebody
legitimate
blew
reason.
up that, I'd be like, was there a spider in it? And if they said yes, I'd be like, you know what, it checks out. Here's
Yeah,
a medal of
fair
honor,
enough.
thank you.
Yeah.
Alright, we got a little off the topic.
yeah. So let's
But
see
it's all
now.
good.
Let's see. What is your funniest moment from streaming?
Doesn't have to be your own stream, it can be any
Mm.
funniest stream that you remember.
I know what it is.
It made you laugh.
There was one time, totally unintentional, a couple years ago. I sent Nags a bit message in the vein of Bud Light presents Real Men of Heroes. Those commercials.
Yeah.
It was, it was very positive towards him about, him being the champ and the man
when
and
he
everything,
looked it up.
yada, yada, yada. And then he looked it up.
Yeah, Hunter, if you want to do that, you can post it in the
first video
Discord.
he watched on YouTube was about toupee wearing man. And he was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, the real Men of Genius skit, and he was like, "Oh, if you guys haven't seen this," and it's like, really, Mr. Really Bad Toupee Wear.
I didn't realise that was you,
That's so
Kazuna. I
bad.
remember it, but I didn't realise you sent the bit
I felt
message.
so bad. I immediately, that's not what I was getting at. That's
It's
not,
not
what
what
I was doing.
Luckily, he knew that there was like 20 of those, and it was like he just chose the
Yeah.
worst possible one for his stream.
But that's
It was
Nax.
a
Nax does that
compilation,
all
and
the
that was the
time.
first one on the compilation.
Yeah. I feel sorry for
That
him.
one was so good.
I know.
I didn't realise that was you, though. I remember the bit message. I didn't realise that was you, Kazuna.
I was newly a mod when I did that. It's like, oh
Wow.
god, I'm gonna lose my job now. Oh god.
But now you can look back on it funny and you're still a mod and it's all good. But hell yeah,
You
that's a
laugh like
funny
crazy.
moment.
I mean, the mods get away with a lot. Look at Unfair.
Linux.
Mods do
Oh,
this.
yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Linux says that they remember
I love
that.
Unfair, though.
Bunch of stuff.
Oh, Unfair is a blast.
Unfair's
Oh.
hilarious. Nags has got really cool mods and VIPs.
No.
Yeah, there's this one VIP he has that I fucking hate. It's this Life Cross guy. He's an asshole.
I love when that Life Cross guy says, let's do shots. I'm like, hell yeah. Let's go, bro.
Yeah, he's
I
like,
don't mean to be biased,
sucks,
but I
bro.
will say.
Let's take shots.
Yeah, let's go. Cheers.
Saying that, I'm going to have to refill my glass. I will be right back. I am dry.
Always.
And that's not good.
In the meantime, we can hear a little bit about what Liths was.
Yeah, he lives funny this moment.
So, I mean, honestly, probably like the funniest moment for me, I would almost say, and now this is this is back when I just lurked Nags' streams and everything like that. So I wasn't active within the community, but me and my buddies one day decided to, we're like, you know what, fuck it, let's just play Borderlands and golf with your friends and like all these games. And my buddy Derp was like, dude, you should stream it. And I was like, okay, whatever. Well, we were drinking heavily the entire time. It was just us not even really paying attention to, like, we forgot that we were streaming it. And we were just drinking, like, we were going, like, how we normally do, just going hard, drinking, and just being idiots. And it was the entire stream was just like in Borderlands, it was us screaming like, "Oh, beg your pardon there, bud," and launching grenades at one another. And then in golf with your friends, there was there's a map in golf with your friends where like you shoot it up and it goes like kind of like around, and then it goes down like this big wooden like Y shape into the hole. And as like I keep missing it or something, like I keep missing it, I can't get it in. And Derp just yells, "Quit taking so long, just jam it into the wood puss already." And for some reason, that derailed us for about 45 minutes. We were wheezing, I'm laughing so hard, I'm crying. Man, for the next like 3 or 4 days, the three of us were constantly like texting each other and just being like, "Hey there, bud, you get it in the wood puss yet?" And just, we would be like sending that in group chats we were in with people that had no idea, and it just became a thing for like 6 months. It wouldn't stop.
Oh my god. Just as I came back, I just took a big gulp, and Liv said that. I had headphones on.
Friggin' right in the wood puss there, bud, don't you know? Friggin' right.
Oh yeah,
I was like, I'm definitely gonna take that drink.
God.
Yeah, cheers. I'll take another one.
I've just opened 18-year-old bottle of Dura, the winter collection.
Oh, nice.
Oh, my stomach.
Oh, it's lovely.
I have got Last Feather Rye right now. It's from Journeyman Distillery. It's a distillery. Is it? Yeah, in Three Oaks, Michigan. It's right from, my state. And it's Last Feather. It's a handmade, they say it's organic, whatever, but it's a rye whiskey. This is 60% alcohol. It's 60% alcohol. And I have got to say, now keep in mind, this is me saying it. I practically live off of whiskey, right? This is the smoothest whiskey I have ever drank in my life. And it is a rye whiskey, which is known to be a little bit harsher with a bit more of a bite. Smoothest whiskey I have ever drank. This shit is amazing.
That must be the casks. Must be the cask.
It's gotta be the cask. Yeah.
We have people writing down that company's name.
Really surprising.
I like Bullet Rye, and it's
Bullet is amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, and
yeah.
Bullet's so good. Oh my goodness.
What surprises me about this is it is so smooth. It's cask strength. This is before it's cask strength, and it's and it's so good. It's smooth.
You
it goes down
just
like
pour
water.
it into your car and use it as a gasoline. Yeah.
Funny you should say that. I literally have a moonshine sitting right next to me. I have a moonshine sitting right next to me that is like 97.5% alcohol. It is made. So if you're shining, this is really important. There's 4 main parts of shining. You have the 4 shots, the heads, the hearts, and the tails. The 4 shots are like the first couple things that come out of that still, and that is like straight methanol. You cannot drink that. And then you have the heads, which is a blend of ethanol and methanol. You're still not supposed to drink that. So they typically roll those together in the heads, and then they throw that out. Yeah, you're not supposed to. And they throw that out. And then you go for the hearts. So the hearts are going to be the strongest part and like the drinkable part. And as it gets closer and closer to the tails, the end of that still, it gets weaker and weaker, and the taste kind of goes off. So they typically take the tails and throw them out too, or they'll use those for blends. The moonshine that I have is... So what they do is they keep the 4 shots in the heads, and then they take the hearts, and then they mix that methanol directly back into the moonshine. Now, the reason they do that is it gives it more of a kick, but it is not safe for direct human consumption. You are supposed to mix it. You are supposed to dilute it before doing that. Or you can just be an idiot like me and say, yo, cheers, and drink it straight because I'm built different. So with methanol can cause organ failure and serious health problems.
Do not drink this. Liv has had plenty of practice and experience, and his body has learned to live with it.
But there's also something very interesting, and that is, if you drink enough, and please do not do this. This is not like an endorsement of this.
We do not endorse this.
Do not do this at all.
Do not try this at home. I'm built different. But with methanol, the part that actually damages the organs, if you drink enough ethanol beforehand, and it's really hard to tell if you're at that point, all the receptors that would be taken up with the harmful bits of the methanol are currently engaged by the ethanol. So you get all the benefits of drinking more with less of the negatives and potential for organ failure. However, you will wake up the next day with the hangover to end all hangovers. It is horrible. I had that once when I drank a bottle of isopropyl because I ran out of liquor, but the party was still going, and I had to keep going.
What the fuck?
You told me about that, and I was like, what the
Excuse
hell
my
are you
language,
doing?
but bro,
You don't have to worry about language.
That was at hangouts too. That was at one of the hangouts too.
Yeah, it was. I was there, and I was like, what the hell are you doing? He's like, I'm gonna... It's all good. I've got this.
Never,
Boy.
never.
And then an hour later,
that.
Liv was walking around trying to find somebody and going along the walls in VR.
Oh
that's
yeah.
180
I followed him
proof,
for
and you're not
about
supposed
40
to drink it
minutes.
to begin with.
Oh yeah. No, that's straight methanol. So I definitely don't endorse that. It's
People
Should
dangerous.
we move
people
on
in
to
chat are
VR
just-
questions?
Yeah.
People in chat are just saying
Yeah.
my stomach hurts just by having Lith say that.
Yeah. Yeah, similar sort of reaction. That's why he's got a
Anybody
robot
that
body.
says they're challenging that man shot for shot, I
Do
just say
not
good luck.
do that.
Because
Do
I think I
not
drink a
do
lot,
that.
but it's like I'm not
I
ever gonna
just had
challenge
somebody
you.
last
I'm
night.
never
I just
gonna
had.
do it.
Oh god.
I had somebody last night say like I could outdrink you, and I was like, first off, no, you can't. Second off, I'm not even gonna bother taking the challenge. And he was like, dude,
you're
I
not.
can drink. He's like, I can drink half a fifth of Popov without getting sick. And I'm like, yeah, I remember my first beer.
That's like 3/4 water.
I've drunk.
Okay.
I've sat and drunk with Liv all night. And trust me, you do not want to challenge the man. And there's no point in taking up the
My
challenge because
piss
he's
has
going to
more
win.
alcohol content than an
Yeah.
entire bottle of Popov.
That's after 2 days detoxing as well.
Exactly.
Now, this comes from
Right.
you guys, but me, I know absolutely
Go on.
jack shit about anything alcohol. I drink chocolate milk when everybody
That's
else
fair.
drinks because
Yeah, you do.
I am just like it's not for me. It's not something I'm ever gonna drink.
Chachi doesn't need
But
alcohol.
I just
Chocolate
need
milk
chocolate
and
milk.
Chachi's there.
I just need that, and I'm
Chalky
good
milk
to go.
dummy
Hey,
mommy.
you
know
So,
what,
I
though?
need that sound file really quick.
Horses for courses.
I do.
Eh,
I do have to definitely say, for Chachi, it's really good that you recognize that alcohol isn't for you and you don't let people
Yeah.
pressure you into it.
No.
I see too often people that don't like drinking that drink just because everybody like
No.
pressures them into
Yeah,
it. That
it's
always bugs me.
social-
Like, if you don't like it,
social pressure.
you don't. Well, everybody else here is drinking. Then grab some water, or some soda, or some
Yeah.
juice.
there's tons
That's
of other
exactly
things you
why I
can
like
drink
the
out there for
hangouts.
drinking. You know, you could literally grab yourself a
The
Dr.
hangouts
Pepper
we'll go
or
to.
Mountain Dew or Coca-Cola,
Yeah.
whatever your thing is. Or heck, if you just want to grab
Exactly. Like,
grape
I'll
juice
flat out
or
tell people,
Yes.
grab yourself a
You
cup
know?
of water. Grab yourself a
Yeah,
bottle of
do
water
it.
and, raise it up with us. Just have some fun.
Yeah.
I never yell shots
Because
unless
they
somebody
know
else
the
has
amount-
just
Ellie?
yelled shots. I am
The
perfectly
amount of
capable of
times you
drinking
hear
on my own.
Kazuna at the hangouts say you don't have to drink alcohol, you can drink water. And Kazuna goes round to people and says, look, I think you've had a little bit too much, why don't you switch to water and stuff? And I think it's brilliant.
I tried
Zombie, why did
doing
you do that?
But then,
What's
see,
that
I
you've done?
tried doing that.
Izuna,
Redeemed hydrate.
What?
you might want
Um,
to check your Discord. Somebody did something.
Oh, okay.
Oh, God.
Zombie,
Oh.
send me the clip of the Kazuna was talking about.
No, I tried to
George
do
is
the
real.
reminder to drink water.
I
but
love
then
you,
I come across like
Zombie.
Schwilly or Gerg, and I just tell them to
Yeah.
keep drinking alcohol anyways.
I am to hydrate
Well,
now.
I love
Hi, String Dragon.
Trillions.
I
They're
downloaded
awesome.
it twice. Whoops. Oh, look, I have my sound pad open already.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
How about that?
Oh, have you got a clip for us? We'll be quiet. Kazuna's going to play a little clip.
Okay.
I'm a chocolate milk dummy mommy, okay?
Thank you, Zoe.
Oh, yes, please. That's brilliant. That is hilarious.
What made it
Thank
even
you,
more
Zoe. I'm going
funny?
to save that.
What made it even more funny was literally I said that while playing Pokemon.
Amazing.
That's awesome.
Oh god.
Poor Chachi's blushing now.
I say stupid stuff sometimes and we don't have to worry about it, but it's hilarious.
It's brilliant.
Oh, okay.
Right,
Let's
we'll move on
see.
to VR questions.
VR questions. How long have you been a part of the VR chat? Don't worry about that, Kelly. Don't worry about that, Kelly.
To go first.
So release your fear.
And what got you into VR? What made you want to go on VR? We lost
Hi,
Liv.
Yuzu. Thank you for following. Welcome to my
The,
night parade. We have fun with a happy little yokai family.
The first actual stream of Nags I had watched was August 24th, 2018. It's easy to remember because that's my nephew's birthday.
Right.
I didn't actually show
How
up
you doing?
to any
Welcome to stream.
hangout
What's been going on?
until it's either the end of January or the beginning of February 2019. The
Right.
first time I ever met anybody in game was at the very first nerd hangout, which I think I have pictures of, and
Wow.
y'all would recognize me because I still have that public avatar.
Yeah.
I don't think you would recognize anybody else that's in there, and I would kind of have trouble about recognizing who's there at this point. But I got VR
It's nice
initially
you got
just
it, though.
because I got the hands in the visor first off because it's like, man, I would really like to head pat people. That was the whole
Right.
justification of it. I just wanted to
Just give people
hug
head pats
people.
and hugs.
That's it.
There's nothing wrong with head
I
pats. There's nothing wrong with head
I got the
pats.
rest of it
Hey, Rio.
because I didn't want to sit down in my computer chair and just be endlessly doing a Slav squat.
Yeah,
I get that.
I understand that.
I get that. Although I am a bit like that, though I have VR chat and 4 monitors around me. I do have a headset and stuff, but
No,
I just can't get on with it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I get that
it's
totally.
like
And I love
kudos
head
to
pats.
both of you because I have streamed VR chat before and it's so much work. At least for me, it is. It's a
And
lot
you
of
get
work.
some weird people in chat.
Yeah, to make
Yeah.
sure, because every time you boot up this game, it's a crapshoot whether or not all of this works the first time. And then,
I get that.
constantly looking at that, and sometimes you gotta do that, look at chat, because, that stopped working, and
Am I one of the only people that don't have that problem?
I love
Yes.
VR, and I have my systems built and made so that I could stream VR when I decided I was going to stream. That was one of the things I was most interested in streaming myself.
I didn't have access overlay the last time I actually did stream VR chat.
Right.
I had the old one where you had to literally
the
on the
airdrop.
desktop thing.
Oh, yes.
Yes, where you had to literally, fix X, Y, and Z axis and put it perfectly where you could see it.
Yeah.
And then you couldn't literally do anything with it in game. You had to still lift your headset and go over to the keyboard and do things.
Yeah, that would be really annoying. You have to lift your headset up to type and then put the headset back down and then so on.
Yeah, it was.
The last 2 times I streamed it was my first wedding in VR to he's changed his name and I won't say it because he's kind of private about it, but it was to Chaotic Neutral, and then it was to Rookie Ranger, God rest his soul, and we had Raven Wren officiated, and we were all standing there, at the altar, having it done. And Noofer was in the crowd. And all I hear from the background... all I hear from the background
You
is...
gotta love Noofer.
Butt stuff!
Oh gosh.
And then the next time I streamed it was June 6, 2020. It was when I married Flacco.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which was, Nags officiated that, and I didn't hear it on my stream, but you might still be able to see it on Flacco's Twitch.
Right.
To where Nags actually answered a phone call from the sex line that kept calling him back in the day. Right before I came down the aisle. Yeah. Good times.
Amazing.
Good times.
You cannot write.
Oh
Max
god.
has the ultimate timing.
That's hilarious.
They're not descriptive for Nags.
I like doing it, but at the same time, it was, there's things going on
Yeah.
that I need to get to, and it's just, it's this, and this, and this, and this, and this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a full aerobic
And you're
workout.
streaming it and you're getting
It
married,
is.
so. No, it's crazy.
Well, we streamed it because there's more people than we could get in the
That
world
wanted-
that wanted
yeah.
to come. Yeah,
That's the problem with a lot of
Exactly,
worlds, isn't it?
and there's only so many people we can get in the world, and the world we chose was already like almost a gig download because it was a recreation
God.
of the wedding hall
gig.
from Final Fantasy 14.
Wow.
Oh,
that's-
Oh,
yeah.
well, that's
Oh.
spectacular. That is
The
something
world that's in
spectacular.
this game is like 800 megabytes to download, and we knew there's people
Damn.
that we wanted to be there that was going to
Just
take like
weren't
an
gonna be
hour
able
to download it, and then a half hour to initialize it.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, it was a lot of fun, but it was also the last time I streamed until a couple months ago. It was literally
So that was that what
2
stopped
years
you
and a
streaming?
It was literally 2 years and a week between that stream and the next time I streamed.
Wow.
Wow.
742
Talk about a
days.
way.
Mhm.
I remember talking to you when we first met in VR. I said to Kazuna, "Do you stream?" And Kazuna went, "Yeah, I used to, but I don't stream anymore. I won't be streaming." So I was like, "There's no point following you." And Kazuna was like, "No, don't follow me on Twitch." And then just recently, Kazuna started streaming. I was like, "I missed your streams. I wasn't following you." And Kazuna was like, "Yeah."
And the whole thing about it was I was just sitting at my computer one day, and it's like, I want to play Fallout again. But the entire time I played Fallout the last time was on stream. So hack it. Open it
I'm
up,
glad
make sure
you're
it
back
works,
streaming.
go live.
I'm glad you're
Well,
back
thanks.
streaming. I've only caught a couple of your streams, but they are brilliant. And I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Yes,
There's a lot
what
more
got
I
you
could be
into
doing with the,
Yeah.
the general experience of it, but time.
I found it entertaining and hilarious and great
Thank
fun,
you.
and you seem to be enjoying yourself, and Jack was. So I think,
I
what the
was-
hell, that's
it-
great.
That Immortal Redneck, which is the game I was playing,
Mhm.
is really fun to play. I didn't think the interactions would be, that often, which I did extend the slider,
Oh, well,
as far away that it could be. But still, though, it's like I'm an hour into the game. I have every negative buff that I could possibly have, and it's the end boss.
Oh,
God.
God.
And a 6 revolver, rusty
Yeah,
revolver,
6-shot revolver. That's the only gun I could use.
rusty revolver. What got you into
I
VR?
learned
Liv?
I learned my lesson about doing anything with chat interaction ever since a Risk of Rain 2 mod, where people were like,
Wow.
meteors, end boss, more meteors, 2 more end bosses, and meteors. And I'm like, it has been 30 seconds since we started the run, assholes. Can you calm down a little bit?
But your chat is always like that, though, Liv. Your chat is always
They want me to
hyped
suffer.
or anything like that. Yeah.
It keeps the people engaged. On the other hand, it sucks, personally. But
Not wrong.
that's kind of the gist of it. Is you want to do something that's entertaining for people.
Yeah. And it's different. You can play the
it's
same
like,
game as
what
other
are
streamers,
you
but
willing to
with
deal with?
Yo, Renato.
Yeah.
Well, that reminds
Dude,
me of
it was
Nags.
even like that with Castlevania when I did that crowd control the first time.
Oh,
And
God.
literally Hughes, who hasn't really been around in a while, Hughes spent $500
Hughes? Oh my God.
fucking killing me over and over again. He kept me on a boss that literally takes me 30 seconds to beat. He kept me on that boss for an hour and a half straight.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
God.
Oh Lord.
Respect to Hughes for doing it. I mean, I should say the first time me and Liv properly talked, Liv was in a 5-hour stream with that thing he'd lost the
Oh,
bed, he
God.
was being tortured. And people told me Liv wasn't
Nico
drinking. And he was suffering.
Yeah, I
And
remember
I
that.
literally sat there with him for the whole 5-hour stream, trying to save
Have some
what
electrical
sanity he
problems,
had left.
Ron. Oh no.
Yeah, that was.
Literally, I sat through the whole
There was
thing
a
with him.
part where I was rocking back and forth, hugging a
Yeah.
bottle of Fireball,
Yeah.
just trying to stay sane.
I'm never gonna do
And I
that.
sat
No,
through the whole thing and I'm talking to Liv and I'm saying, hang in there, bud, you haven't got that long to go, and I'm trying to keep him occupied. And he was driving me nuts as well, I've got to be honest.
Yo.
That tortured me.
Oh god.
Yeah,
I
that's,
felt that pain.
that's just the fans
I mean,
that
you
are
gotta
in
remember,
Lyft,
I've already watched somebody do
background.
10
Don't
hours
worry
of
about
Chica
that.
Chica and 3 hours of Epic
Oh, yeah.
Sax Dog and 3 hours of...
I remember Sax Dog. Chica Chica was
What
actually
was the other one?
like
That was a
I
little
think
bit
it was, like, 2
entertaining.
weeks. No, I think the 10 hours Chica Chica was like 3 weeks after I started lurking in the streams, and I caught all but like an hour and a half of it because I had to do something.
Hi, Vanessa.
And I
I
was
watched
just
the whole
like,
thing.
oh Jesus.
I never want to hear that song
Dude,
again.
Radio Disney.
Never.
Yeah, I'm the same.
So-
There's a lot of them like that. I don't want to.
I
Go
have
on,
a,
George.
I have a
There was
redeem
another
on
one.
my channel that literally is like for the entirety of the stream. I have to be able to hear it and everything, but I play the entire thing of Potteroo for the entire stream, and I
Oh.
usually stream for
No,
4
don't do
hours.
that.
No.
Oh,
I would rather
no.
listen to 10 hours of Chica Chica again than hear Patteroo once. No.
I'd rather hear foxes in the street howling than that. I mean, oh,
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, wow.
I said it's my
For
most
4 hours?
expensive
Oh,
thing. Oh.
they wouldn't make it on my stream, I'll be honest. I'm at a stage where them sort of redeems are not going to happen. I'm just not going to put myself
Yeah,
in
no.
that situation.
No. Why don't
I
have
hope chat respects
why don't have
me
that
for
kind
that.
of redeem? Because it will happen. And I
Are
don't
you
want
in
to do
pain,
it.
Oh,
or are
yeah.
you saying pain
Yeah,
for that
there's no
redeem?
change in
Come to
face.
think of it, I still have that
Mm.
redeem on mine. I really need to get rid of that because I know.
Yeah, you should probably get rid of that immediately. I will get rid of mine once it finally like one person uses it, because I made the redeem. I might as well
How
have
much
someone.
is the points?
It's literally 1.5 million. If you want it, you
Oh,
want it
well,
really
yeah.
goddamn bad.
Somebody will get there.
Somebody
Somebody
wants
will
to
get
torture
it.
me, and I don't know who the fuck one it will be, but they'll save up for it.
I
It'll
did
be
that
the
stream
ultimate
with Liv. I
betrayal.
sat there with him going through it, and I was like, you know what? I'm done. And then Liv made a similar bet about 3 weeks later.
Yeah, I'm
I actually said to him, look, bud, I come and sat with you and I helped you out that time and I tried to get you through it, but
So
there's no
mean.
way I can do that again.
Zoe, please don't be the one to do it to me. Please don't be the one to do it to me.
Oh, Zombie might have the point.
that's
Zombie
what
is
I'll
an
do.
expert lurker.
I'll have to
And an expert
actually
newbie.
like raise the price on mine or delete it because mine is
Oh,
apparently
definitely
only
that too.
400,000, and I know for a fact that somebody's at like 390,000 because they were telling me the other
Yeah,
day.
don't do it.
So
Oh
Don't do
yeah,
that
Don't
price
do
getting
it.
jacked up or removed.
yeah. If you want to keep it, I'd say like triple the price. To be
Yeah,
honest.
that's pain. That is nothing but pain.
I mean, kudos
Oh,
to the
fuck that.
boss for putting up with it
Ah,
all 3 times. At the same time, it's like, I know he hated every single second of it.
but then again,
I know he did.
Nags suffers with the TTS anyway.
Yeah.
Oh
Every day.
This is also true.
I
Yeah.
don't. Sometimes I don't know how he does it.
he is. I think he mentally switches off and starts thinking about food or something
No, he
else
doesn't.
completely.
He's there mentally the entire time because chat, like the TTS.
I know he's responding
you
and
can't
that, but I
break
think
away
his
from
brain
it.
must cut it.
I've watched
I don't know how
him
you
long
put up
enough
with it.
to just look at his facial expressions and tell if he's just done with this stuff. Eh,
Oh yeah, I know that. I'm a
it's
bit
been a,
like
it's
that.
been
I
a
do
couple
watch him.
times. It's been a couple
Yeah.
times. Yeah.
But you know, props to the guy. The guy literally, he everything he does, he earns 10 times over.
Yes.
You know, and
He's very
respect to
good
him.
people. Mm-hmm.
I don't think we
Yeah,
heard
he is. He's got an amazing heart as well.
how Lith got
Lith's
into the
reason for
community.
joining VR. Yeah.
I don't think.
Oh yeah, sorry. So like for joining like VR chat as a whole, I actually got it. So late 2016 is when they did the release for the touch controllers on the Oculus. That's when the touch controllers first came out, and I think it was like January or like real early February of 2017 when they started releasing the CV ones and the touch controller bundles. I got it because that bundle was normally $600, and a site that I was looking at had it messed up. It was $260 on their website, and I jumped on that. And I got like the bundle and everything like that. Fun fact, early 2017, I got that. That is still the headset, the scuffed ass headset that is held together with super glue and just hopes and dreams that I use to this day. It's still that same bundle.
That's the one where you've soldered in a new microphone. You've swapped things
that's
out.
a microphone from a $10 webcam.
Yeah.
That thing is just so hacked together. It's running through a server and like 3 different VMs just to get it to work. It's amazing. But I got that. I got it because I was bored with a lot of things. I was going through a lot of shit, and I wanted to do dumb shit that made me laugh. And honestly, like VR just intrigues me. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, and if I can get it at this price. So I did that, and I remember the first time I went into VRC, I logged in, I did like that original tutorial that they had you do, and I get out of that, and it's the old hub, and I walk up, and there's like 4 people with these super cool avatars, and I like go to say hi to them, and I'm like, I complimented their avatar, and if you've ever seen the original VRC avatar, matter of fact, hold on,
If
I am correct, I thought I did. I don't have it anymore. But it's just like, it's kind of like the avatar I have right now, but it's just like a gray robot with the smiley face.
I remember that.
It's
the unavailable one.
It's literally it's this one.
I remember that one.
It's this one right here.
They were everywhere at one point in all YouTube videos. You see one person in Avatar and everybody else was in them.
Yeah, this was the original Avatar you started in. And I went up to this group of people and I was like trying to talk to them and say like, hey, those avatars are really cool. Did you make them or did you find them somewhere? And these people roasted my basic robot ass having like avatar for a good 20 minutes. And I just left the game because I was like, I don't think this game's for me. These people are mean. And I went back to playing like other games with occasionally, I'd occasionally jump back in every now and then, and what I would do is I would mute myself and I would just go through worlds. I would typically avoid people, just go through and explore worlds. And then one day I actually came across a world where a bunch of people, it's like late at night, a shit ton of people are drinking, and one of them is like, hey, you fucking robot, get over here. And I'm like looking, so I like go over and I just kind of like stare at him. They're like, are you drinking? And I'd like unmute my mic and I was like, I mean, I got liquor right here. I can. And they're like, you're with our group now, you're drinking. And I kind of found my tribe.
Nice.
And I ended up kicking it with them for, a good year or so. And then, from there, I started getting a little bit more active in some of the communities that I was in. Some of them had VRC things. And then, obviously, I started becoming more active in Nags' community. And I, I was like, oh, what's this nerd hangout? Yeah, it's in VR. Okay, I'll do that. Like, I know that his community is heavily based on VR because of the adventures. I did watch those, years back. But yeah, I just started doing that, and then I just really became more active in the hangouts and everything after that, because it's kind of like he'll say, like, I always say that, oh, I'm a shy boy. I don't talk to people because I'm so shy. But then I've got like 20 places to go every weekend.
You have,
to the
you
point
are
where like
super popular.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
the
you are
nerds,
as well, Kazuna.
I do the Lunar Squad, formerly Lolly Squad. I'll do like their hangouts and stuff like that. I try to pop into Koros, the Foxhole community, or the Imp Squad, depending on what you want to call them. Even like Cyanic. I went to visit Cyanic and a couple others last night, and he was like, they were all in a big conversation. I was like, I'm not gonna bother him. I'm just gonna like pop around and the Patreon stuff, the nerds. I'm all over everywhere, and typically if you see me, I'm drinking, so like never hesitate to come up and just be like, yo, shots, it's the alcohol, man.
Hell yeah. I always do. That's how I greet Liff. He's like, shots, and he's like, shots, brother. And I'm like, yeah, saying that, shots. Yeah.
It's kind of like there's so many places you can't go on a Friday or Saturday.
Yeah.
It's like I've met famous people from years ago, and they're still famous to this day in the community. It's I've met Landfear, I've met Oathmeal, I've met Cody, I've met a whole bunch of people.
I met Oathmeal before, but I don't think like they definitely wouldn't. Well, obviously they wouldn't remember me. But like I was just sitting there talking to somebody, and they're like off having a conversation, and they like introduced me to Oath, and I was just like, "Hi, nice to meet you." And then they went back to their conversation. I went back to mine. There was one. There was. Here's a fun story. I was in a Black Cat, and this is like early 2019 and everything like that. And I came across a name that I recognized from a very old YouTube video of like VR chat, and they would go around and ask people questions and like kind of do like little interviews, and like they'd have their own little adventures and would just bullshit with people. And I came across them, and I was chatting with them, and I was like, hey, I actually remember you. I watch a lot of your videos, how you been, everything like that. I noticed that you haven't uploaded a lot recently. Oh, life got busy, all of that, blah, blah, blah. And the person that they're with is laughing. It's like, man, I cannot believe this dude is outing himself like this. And I'm just kind of like ignoring him and talking to her, and, like, just having a good conversation. She's like, okay, well, anyways, take it easy. And she's like, okay, yeah. And then she stops and she goes, wait a second, hold on. You know me from YouTube, don't you? And I was like, yeah, obviously, why? And the person she's with loses his shit and is like just howling into his microphone. And I'm like, what the fuck is so funny? And she goes, I stopped making YouTube videos like a year and a half ago. I make adult content now in VR.
Oh,
and this person is dying thinking that I'm like some hardcore fan of the adult content or something like that. And I knew her. I didn't even know about that. It was like I knew her from like the YouTube stuff, and I was just sitting there like, oh my god, this seems so bad. And she's like, I've never had somebody like. I've had people like look at me and wave and like give me a thumbs up and that look, so I know like, oh, they've seen me. I've never had somebody come up and be like, oh my god, I've watched so many of your videos. And I'm just like, wow, that probably made me look like a fucking perv or something.
I met Lanfear, I did that to Lanfear. I went up to Lan and said, look, I just want to come back and say I have watched those your streams. And I always find them extremely entertaining. And I like the music and I like what you do. And that was it. I was like, yeah, I just wanted to tell you that. I'll leave you alone now.
It's doing good today. We're having fun doing a little talk show thing with some buds here.
In game.
Afterward, we'll be
dancing. It's like when I met all the people I listed, it's like, oh, hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. But in my head, I'm like, oh my god, 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 it's Sam, it's Sam, it's Sam, it's Sam, it's Sam.
Yeah.
Well, Liff was the one that got me into the thing. We were drinking together, and I was like, I'm doing VR, and Liff was like, bud, if you're drinking and you want to do VR, come and join me. I tell you what, sign up to the Patreon, do this, do that. You have a hell of a
it's like
time.
if you want like more drinking, we do it on Friday night, like every Friday night, and it's an amazing group of people. And he's like literally that night signed up. And it's like, oh yeah, he's gonna get along. And I think like the first time you were there, you ended up getting into a conversation with BlackRock. And that conversation was like an hour long. You two are just like, firing right back at each other, and you guys are having a blast and everything. That was fun to listen in on.
I love BlackRock. I think he's
Hope you're doing pretty well today, Cry.
I think they're both brilliant. I mean, Libby's my VTuber mum.
BlackRock was one of the first people I met in this game. So,
I don't know if
the first thing.
He's a nice guy too. He doesn't want people to say that about him, but he's a nice guy.
He is. He's
BlackRock's
fantastic. Gold. And that guy works hard. He works super hard.
The first thing BlackRock ever said, like, to me directly is I was talking to Barry and Teresa, and the subject of, like, my use back in the day came up. And I was telling him some stories and stuff like that. And BlackRock showed up like partway through the story. And at the very end, Teresa and even Barry was like, Jesus Christ, I don't know what to say to that dude. And BlackRock just looks at me and he goes, are you okay? Do you need somebody to talk to? And I was like, no, I'm good. It's in the past. And he was like, you ever need somebody to talk to? I get it. I can, I'll talk to you. And I was like, no, dude, it's all good. But no, BlackRock's hilarious.
BlackRock's awesome.
He's funny and he's really good people. So yeah.
Yeah, he is. And somebody told me the other day, because Libby did my avatar, so she's my VTuber mum. Somebody said that makes BlackRock your VTuber dad. I was like, I didn't think of that. And if BlackRock is that, I'm sure he won't be happy. Sorry, bud, it wasn't my dude.
Yeah.
It was Nags and somebody else that pointed that out to me, and I was like, Right, shall we move on to the last set of questions?
Yes.
Where are we at?
If you could collab with anybody, who would it be and why?
Yeah, good question. We were talking about famous VR chat people and that.
I have always wanted, for years now, to play co-op Resident Evil 6 with Nax.
Oh.
And I always wanted to do it with his Mauled Coin Redeem.
Right.
And every time I've gotten close
to
getting to the redeem, he raised it up.
Yeah. Man, we have got to start a petition. You heard it here, chat.
I was within 1,000 coins one day, and the next day he moved it up.
Oh, you are joking. No way. I know Nags keeps an eye on
I told him this. Does he remember if it's actually something that I wanted to do with him? I don't know. But, no, I've told him about this plan. He's like, yeah, bro, we'll do it. We'll do it. And that was like 2 years ago. It's like,
When did you tell him? When he was in VR drinking or when he was not?
When he was in VR, and I think it was before he got, too far gone.
We'll have to remind him.
Don't forget.
Me and Liff
it is Nags.
chuck some big suggestions. It is Nags, and he is. The guy does a lot. I mean, even when he's not streaming, he's helping other streamers. He's giving advice, he's co-ops. He's editing, he's
so
doing
much that a lot of people don't know about. And I'm privy to some of that information, which it's like, oh my god, dude. It's like, I don't care that you just took the last week off of streaming. It's like, you fucking need a break. Holy shit.
Go take another 3 weeks off, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always say that to him. Because one thing a lot of people don't know is he is a workaholic. He's literally at that computer from the moment he gets up to the moment he goes to bed. And he's doing other stuff to help people. He's giving advice, he's supporting, he's doing co-ops, he's, filming collabs with other people and everything else.
Yep.
And he doesn't stop.
No.
And even though weekends he's not streaming, he's still regularly doing EU Day, Consig, T2, T3, Hangouts, all them other stuff. So even that, he doesn't get a lot of time to himself. He definitely needs more. What about you, Liv? Who would you like to collab with? If you could do any collab.
So that's kind of a difficult question, because I understand that I am not an easy person to get a hold of and to like line things up with.
You're the same as me. You just don't usually answer DMs.
Oh, dude, I'm working on 30 or 40 things at one time. Like literally, all last semester, I was working on stuff for some of the stuff for the college that won't be seen for another year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah.
And getting things built up. And then aside from that, I do a lot of stuff in various communities that I'm in, and I kind of do a little bit of watchdogging. There were some people that, I'll bring up Koro. There was somebody trying to dox Koro, and Koro is not just like a VTuber. I watch. Koro's a friend. Koro used to come to the Hangouts, and we used to join on Koro, have a blast and everything like that. So I had a friendly conversation with that person. I found out who it was, had a friendly conversation with them. I shared some information about themselves, and they backed off. And then I found out that they were also trying to get docs on a couple people in her community, so I had to talk with them. I do a lot of stuff for various communities.
Yeah, you do. You also mod on my Discord now and protect my Discord as well, which I'm grateful for.
Yeah, and I lurk, not just in Twitch chats, but in Discords, and I try to keep my eye everywhere to make sure that things are going smoothly. So I'm always working on something, and it's not easy to set things up. For who I would collab with, don't let the sad boy know it, because I don't want it to go to his head. But honestly, I look forward to every time I get to play games with Smar, and he would be
I'm so happy to hear you say that.
Even though I have done multiple streams with him, I always look forward to doing more, because we have a similar mindset. We can play off of each other very well. So it's always fun for us and the people that watch. Another person that I really want to do another game with, and this might surprise people because they think he's an asshole and they talk shit about him, but Barry Toxic. Barry is an absolute blast to talk to, and we played Dead Space together, and I had so much fun, because just like Smart, we are very similar. We have the same kind of that mental space that we're in is very similar. So we're playing off of each other, and we're being equally toxic and helpful to one another. He's an absolute blast. I think it would be fun to do a stream or something.
Wholesome toxicity.
Yep. Yeah. Trollsomeness.
Yeah.
I think something.
I played games with Barry too when I wasn't streaming myself, and yes, me and Barry generally, whenever we see each other anytime in this game, we're screaming at each other things, but at any point we can just stop and he's like, I love you too, head pat, hug. Yeah.
There were people,
we both get it. Yeah.
There were people early on when I first started coming to the Patreon hangouts that literally thought Barry and I hated each other, because we were always yelling at each other and shit talking each other. And two of the mods pulled us aside, and they're like, "Hey, do you guys have a problem?" And we started laughing. It's like, are you kidding? No, we're fucking good friends, dude. Fucking love this guy. He's great. And they're like, yeah, we literally thought that you guys hated each other. We were going to try and find a way where you guys could both come to the hangouts without
oh my god.
So honestly, I think a great collab, if we could, if the time ever arose for it and everything like that, I think probably one of the greatest collabs for me to do would honestly be if I could get
Barry, Smart, and probably Teresa, because I've always had a blast with Teresa. If I could get like the four of us together to play like some game that we can all just like autistically roll through, that would be an absolute blast. Because
that would be hilarious to watch. And if you ever do, make sure you DM me and tell me you're gonna do it, so that I can be
so
there.
great because like. There was like probably
it's better to try,
one
though.
of the craziest ones was we did and it was just like a last minute
More
thing.
fun and more people
Barry
to
told me, "Hey, get
actually
this
hang
game.
out with.
Newfer,
You never know,
Teresa,
they
and
might
I are going to
actually
be playing it tonight.
fun
It would be
to
fun
it
if you did." And
just don't have time
I was
to-
like, "Okay, I got the game.
Need to
I
schedule
installed
stuff
it."
or
And
whatever
like midway through, I was like, "Dude, I'm fucking streaming this shit." We were drinking, playing this horror game, and we were having a fucking blast. Like, if I could find a game with like enough slots, I think like Barry, Teresa, Smar, Newfer. Oh, dude, Astronaut.
Oh, Newfer's brilliant.
Astro always cracks me. And if we could get like Aldrin in on that too, I just have a feeling that it would end up with
would
Smar
be
having to be like
so
the chaperone / wrangler for the rest of our drunk asses.
Well, Smart would be. Smart would have to be.
Yeah, he'd be wrangling us. And if we could, Cookie. I don't get to talk to Cookie much anymore because like they're always busy. But like if we could get them in a game with like just a bunch of people together and just roll our way
sometimes
through.
show up
poor
till
Smart.
late at night at the after party.
It's just our work.
Sometimes.
Yeah, they're
We
working.
message each other from time to time. I always say hi. And we occasionally, I've watched a few things with Cookie. We've done the film show or whatever it is.
Yeah, just like that would be like the dream collab. For
What is
me.
he that one
Just, like,
too,
if we could
Auntie?
we need to find a game.
I do.
We would need to find
I
a
wanna
game
see
with
that.
that many spots open. We get Aldrin, Smart, Teresa, Astro, Barry, me, like just get a bunch of people in there. We're all drinking. Poor Smart is frantically trying to wrangle us back on back on objective, and the rest, and we're just sitting there like. It'll
That'd
end
be
up
like
like
herding
anybody playing
cats.
Payday with me, where I'm like twerking with a minigun in the middle of the street shooting civilians. That's Smart's gonna be the person to be like, "No, get back here, get on the point, damn it!"
Oh yeah,
Finish
speaking
the
of
objective.
Payday,
Don't just shoot that up. Yeah.
speaking of
got a
Payday,
collab coming up.
you and Sober have one coming up. I think this is Wednesday. Is
Yes.
what we're looking at.
Yes.
Oh, you're gonna try for Wednesday?
Yeah.
Wednesday or Thursday we were going to do. Want to make it? Can you play for?
I've not played
you
it
can
in
have-
probably 4 years, but yeah.
It doesn't matter. Oh, dude. Wednesday
What
night?
about Thursday then? What about Wednesday night or Thursday night? Night for me, normal time for you.
Yeah, Wednesday night.
So I mean,
works
it's
best
half
for
12
me.
here in the morning
me-
for me.
I need to look at the calendar.
I haven't
No
even
worries.
played Payday 2. I bought the game
Yeah,
and
that
downloaded
reminds
it,
me.
and I haven't touched it. I'm itching.
This Wednesday or Thursday, I would be good for that.
Yeah, Wednesday works.
Sweet.
Oh, hell yeah.
Wednesday
We
then.
have our entire team here then.
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yes,
Hell yeah.
sweet. I'm
Just to let you
That
all
reminds me,
know,
though,
the
Liv,
digital
real
war
quick.
crimes, that's gonna happen. Full on
Oh yeah.
M138, like minigun.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
brother.
hitting every
Hell
single
yeah.
cell.
Hell yeah.
I don't blame you.
I'm
We
not
gotta-
leaving an area till I've destroyed everything.
Liv, Silver's never played Payday, so the first thing I want to do
I've
is
only
I
bought
want
it.
to first get him the DLC for Stoic so he can have the whiskey flask.
Yes.
Oh, hell yeah.
He will 100% enjoy that.
Chachi told me about this.
Yes,
I'm
so
gonna
it
be
is.
honest. I have multiple builds. I have my dodge build, which I do with Smar because like my dodge build works well with him. I have my stealth build. If I'm playing by myself and off stream, I like stealth. I actually prefer stealthing, but it's not fun to watch for people. But
Yeah.
if like I'm on stream, I have the ultimate build. It is called Life Mode Go Hard, and it is a stoic build. And I am literally sitting there chugging whiskey from the flask every 3 seconds, and just sitting out there with the M138 mowing down police. Just
When
like,
Chachi
gotta
told
take
me
a
that, I
shot.
was like, I've got to do it. I've got to do that. I'm with you there, bud. Wednesday
Like
it
if you
is.
watch
fun.
the Meet the Heavy video
It's
for
on.
Team Fortress 2.
Aww.
That's what I did.
Yeah, if Heavy was a raging alcoholic, yes.
But but the first mission I want to take silver on is literally Mall Crasher. That way, you literally
Okay.
Wow.
silver. You
I think I
literally go
remember what
in
that
and you
is.
just
Yeah.
break everything. You destroy as much
Oh,
property
that
as you
sounds
can.
like
I
that sounds
think I
like
remember
fun.
what that is. Yeah.
Load me up with a minigun and away I'll go. Feels
You'll
like
have to buy the minigun first.
Yeah, you have
we
to
might not
work
be able to do
towards
it
it.
right away, but
Right.
what I'll say
Well, I don't
is,
mind working towards it if I can
Yeah,
do that
We'll
after.
secure all the loot so we
Sometime-
can make sure you get the money for it.
I
Thank
could
you,
always
much
also
appreciated.
it won't be on that stream, but I could also always run him through. So the highest difficulty is called I think it's Death Wish
Wish.
1 down, and I can do
Wow.
jewelry store, or is it jewelry store or like diamond store or whatever? I can do that Death Wish 1 down by myself solo, usually in under like 7 or 8 minutes.
Damn.
And
Wow.
like he'll literally go from like level 1 to like level 40 in a single run, and it will give him
wow.
a decent amount of money. So like if need be, like
Yeah.
after the stream, I can do that to try and like help you out to get you to a spot where you're comfortable, you've got some points to put in. But like I think
hell
right now
yeah.
I'm level 900 in the game, so
Wow.
and
Wow.
I stopped
God.
prestiging. I stopped infamying and going on after 900 because I was getting bored of the constant grind.
Right.
Had I
yeah.
not done that,
That's a
I'd
lot of
probably be
grinding.
closer to like 2100 by now had I not stopped doing the infamy
Shadow
thing.
Raid on
But
that
like
really
900's good.
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah, along with hell of a lot of
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
They did release a new
Well, I'm up for doing that.
they did release a new heist on the payday apparently.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, it's a DLC. I haven't had any money to
I've only,
Get any,
I've
like,
only
a lot of
watched
the DLC.
Chachi and a couple of other streamers. I watch you, Liff, as well play it, but I've never played it. I did buy the game. I've been itching to play it for a couple of weeks, but I said to Chachi, I'm not going to touch it until we get this sorted out. Then I will.
It's
yeah, fair.
It's another one of those games like Left 4 Dead or something where the more people you have playing with you, the more fun it is.
Yeah,
Definitely.
that's the game
Yeah.
I've been looking for, and Chachi was the one who said get Payday too. So I was like, right, I'm buying
Yep.
it.
No.
Yeah,
It was like,
yeah,
word, yeah,
that's
baby.
another fun one. Left 4 Dead 2. I do that with Kento and Aki when we can, and that shit's
Nice.
always great.
It's always a good time. It's
I
always
played that with
hilarious
Pinu.
doing that.
I played it with the fire team that I have that I named Sierra Bravo, so you can say Sussy Baka because it's we did that.
Of course it
That
is.
was the whole reason I named it Sierra Bravo, so it could also stand in for Sussy Baka.
Oh,
Yep.
I
And
love
there's,
it.
That's
there's
amazing.
Lynx, and there's Ron, and there's Steven, or Seppers.
I agree. Links
however
co-op
you know them.
games through storylines
Yeah,
and like that.
we should be doing
all the levels and
continuing
everything.
Dead Island
Co-op
tomorrow,
games are the greatest.
unless something happens again.
Oh, yeah.
Which
Well,
Dead Island,
I'll come and
that's
watch you
one of
play
those
tomorrow
games.
if you're playing on stream.
That's one of those games that is way more fun when there's people there.
Oh, yeah. I played Dead Island
It's really
with my
boring
buddy
when
Tonk.
when you're doing it solo. Yeah.
Links is in my chat and
You
says,
and
"Yeah,
Tonk
we're
are
continuing
funny.
it tomorrow."
Oh, hell yeah. I'm sorry that you have to play
There
with
you go.
him. That's gotta suck, but Lynx is cool.
It's okay. It's okay. It's not usually Tucker, so it's okay.
Right, chat,
what's the other
before
one
we
with
wrap up,
zombies? That was
here's your
the
chance.
second
Is there
one
any
just came out.
questions from people in chat you want to ask Azuma or Liv?
Mm-hmm.
Left 4
Put
Blood.
them in
Is
chat
that what you
now.
mean?
Back for Blood.
In
Oh no,
Chachi's Channel
Back
Online.
for Blood's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But no, I was thinking Dying Light. I did Dying Light with my buddy Dixie, a good friend of mine for
I've
like
never
15
played Dying
years.
Light. Yeah.
Dude, that game, I unlocked Dropkick, and I spent the next 2 hours playing with him, just running up and drop kicking zombies, and we were like, just dying laughing, dude.
It was definitely one of the best things to do. So
we're just going to give chat a chance to ask you a question, and in Chachi's chat, if they want to write it, if there's a question they want to ask because they're not live, Pop wants to know what is each of yours all-time favourite game of all time, any era.
Oh wow!
What game is it? I mean, that's not an easy
Castlevania
one
Symphony
for
of the Night.
anybody to answer. Yeah, I knew Liv was going to say that because that's the one.
Like, do you mean like the game we played the most, or like the one?
No, just the game that you love the most. Where
The one I
you know, in your
play the
heart, that's
most.
got a special place.
The one that's got a special place in my heart is the original SimCity.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I
get
spent months playing that game.
So many people did.
I know.
So many. That was
It
at
wasn't,
the
it
time
wasn't classic. It
SimCity.
came out with
When the
95.
first
It was
one came
the
out.
original one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When the first one came out, though, it was something completely different. There hadn't been a game like it, where you could
So
literally control a life form's life and torture them or make them happy or do whatever you want to them. You know, it was something new and everybody had it and everybody played it.
I didn't.
I
was a
have
massive
in my
game.
basement right now the original. It was a combination of 3.
Yeah,
I have the original manual in my basement in a box, and I know where it is.
nice.
Of the original SimCity, Sim Farm, and
Yeah,
then Sim Earth.
Oh.
I have the
They're not
all
bad
3
choices.
manual in the basement right now.
and SimCity.
Oh, that was the Sim Classics bundle.
Everybody
I
has
had
played
that
some
too.
version. Yeah,
Mhm. Yep. It's like I
Chachi.
played SimCity Classic with
I'm
updated
gonna
graphics for
answer this one as
95
well.
and 2000,
Yeah.
3000, 4000. Yeah.
So I have
What's your answer, Charge?
2 games that have a special place in my heart. Always will. The first one, a lot of people will recognize because it's a big game. It's out there. It has a new one coming out sometime. It is Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah,
Oh, fair.
I've heard good things about Kingdom Hearts. I've never played it, but I've heard good things about it.
It is
Same,
a
yeah.
franchise, a game that I have loved and played, and ever since the PS era, I was enjoying it completely. I loved everything about it. Not only the Disney characters, which kind of is what drew me into it, but then I started learning about Final Fantasy stuff from that game, and I was like, oh,
Yep.
I
Right.
started getting into the
So
Final
it was,
Fantasy that way.
Gateway game.
And that
It
game
was a
only
gateway
happened
game to
because of an
play. Fancy.
it only happened because of an elevator ride.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yes, Liv's telling the truth there 100%.
Yep.
We won't go into that story because it's quite long, but he's 100% right.
Hi,
And what's the
Lillian.
other one, Charge? What was the other one you wanted?
The other one goes back a long time.
Yeah.
People will know it because, well, if you're old and you like RTS style stuff, StarCraft.
Oh,
Hell
yeah.
yeah. Hell
That was a good
yeah.
game. It was a good game, and I would say that's aged pretty well, actually. It's one of them
Yes.
games that,
It's one of the games
that
that I
still
have
looks good now.
personally loved throughout my entire career of playing games. I love Final Fantasy 14. I love the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game that I played. I have so many games that I love playing, but
when I
Yeah, you were
played,
playing Turtles a little while ago. I loved seeing you play that again.
I when I played StarCraft and StarCraft 2, I was like, oh my god, I love everything about this. I love building up a small army of people and just going and bashing my head against the enemy and figuring out like, why is this dying? But also killing most of the enemies as well. And comes to the story and for all of it, I'm just like, God, I love this. And then at one point on the original StarCraft, I was like, there were mini games in there, like that were made by mods.
And there were hidden games.
Yeah.
There was hidden entrances to other bits as well.
I love doing everything with StarCraft. And
the story was good as well. That was the age when games really told a good story.
Oh, yeah.
The story didn't start. It started good, the middle was good, and the ending was good. Whereas nowadays, it's either a good
Chat's
start.
hearing us talk about this, and we probably sound like, back in my day, games were good, and they had stories.
Well, if they want to hear that, I can remember when Pac-Man first come out, flip and flop, asteroids. I've literally seen them all made.
I still remember starting games by putting a chat string in MS-DOS, so yeah, I know what you're saying.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Fucking Hugo's House of Horrors.
DOS 3.0. I've still got one of the first Toshiba laptops that runs that. I've got that in the cupboard.
Yup.
But I will say this: I am a very big Protoss player. I love the warps and everything like that. Many people are like, Zerg.
We must construct additional pylons.
Exactly.
My life for ire.
Yeah.
Exact. I will say that like crazy. I literally. To judge somebody's age, I will literally go up and go, "Intaruadun, young one." And if they reply with anything, if they reply with something like that, I'm like, okay, I know exactly what age range you are.
Yep.
If somebody doesn't know that, then it's either they're way too young to know, or they just completely glossed over one of the biggest games that there was.
I know, right?
It's
just
like
played the Wings of Liberty campaign again this year.
Wow.
It was actually
I like Terran. It's fun.
Oh, I will take anything over Zerg. I fucking hate Zerg.
Hey, fuck
Fuck
Zerg.
the Zerg. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck the
I'm
Zerg.
with you there.
So
Commit war crimes against them.
oh yeah, definitely.
Exactly.
It was last year when I actually grabbed two friends that were a part of the community back then, but they're gone now. As sad as it was, we literally ran a mod to allow 3 people to play through the story campaign, and it was great.
Wow.
They also added in additional things so that people
Like
could,
the original
Bear
game?
with me a second.
like
My phone is
StarCraft 2's entire first campaign, Zerg campaign, and Protoss campaign.
Oh,
all 3 of
okay.
them.
Okay.
So
Wow. Okay.
it was also with that. It also gave upgrades to a 3rd tree that you could get instead of the or a 4th tree.
Oh.
So there would be additional things and upgrade paths and choices that you could make instead of just the ones that were available in the base level of game and everything. I was choosing from all over the place and everything, and I absolutely adored it when we got to the Protoss part of the campaign. I was just like, I love all of this shit. Why can't I have it all at the same time? Please give it to me.
Yeah.
You just tell the other two, like, sit back, I've got this.
Yep. And for the most
hold my
part, that
beer.
was most of the
hold my
Hold my
chocolate
beer.
milk.
exactly. Hold my
Yeah.
chocolate milk. I'm going
Hold
in.
my chocolate milk. I've got this.
Which is pretty much how most of the campaign went. I was doing most of the work while they did have four system was helping, but like I was doing it so much faster than them. They were more like supportive roles
That's like
to
me.
everything.
I'm the opposite on every game now. I'm always the one at the back who's being carried. That was like me 20
that in
years
a lot of
ago.
games.
But yeah,
Pop up and occasionally in the shop.
it was fun. That's why that game will always have a place in my heart. Like I love Mario, I love Kirby, I love Super Smash Bros. I love, Final Fantasy 14, Kingdom Hearts, but StarCraft will always have that place in the heart. That's just like
That's fair.
There's always a special
Let's
game
go.
that has a place, or a few. I mean, mine are Dragon Age. Ninja Gaiden, the original. I loved that game, even though it was so hard and so difficult. I just loved the fuck out of
Ninja
it.
Gaiden, the original, also known as
Yes.
fucking Bird.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
I loved it though. There's a couple of weird ones. Mario Kart, the original Mario Karts, and
Yeah,
yeah.
64. Yeah, the SNES and Duck Hunt on the SNES. I used to love that with the big. You had
that
a
was on
rocket
that's the
launcher.
little light cannon.
Yeah.
You had that one. Ooh, you had that light cannon.
I had the big ass one that you had on your shoulder, and you were blowing ducks out of the sky. But it was absolutely hilarious. It was,
Bless you.
it was like having a rocket launcher.
Yeah,
Time
mine too have
Cop.
always been.
Time
Yeah, mine
Crisis
too have always
as
been
well.
Symphony of the Night, and then the other one is. It didn't get a lot of recognition because Final Fantasy VII was like about to come out or was out at the time, but Star Ocean: The Second Story. It was a 2-disc massive RPG with a full crafting system. And it had a possible of, I think, like 80 different endings, and it was a PS1
I think
game.
I remember that.
damn.
Yes.
Now, a
You
lot
had
of the
had a
endings were
gold
like...
band on the box, and you had 2 discs and a manual in the middle. I had
Yep.
that game. I remember that. I
yeah,
might
Star
even have
Ocean was
that
so
in the
good.
loft. Yeah.
If we're throwing out old games, Legend of Dragoon, the first Drakengard.
Yeah,
Oh,
Legend
another
of
good one.
Dragoon. The grind fest that was that game, but if you could get through the slow start, the
Pac-Man
story
as well, I've got
was
to
so
say. I
Oh,
spent a
yeah.
lot of hours on
A
Pac-Man.
literally 80
Oh,
hour
man.
game. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but Legend of Dragoon was so amazing, and I loved the story and the twist with the characters that blew me away. And then another one that was a little bit more friendly, but also like dark subject a little bit, was Legend of Legaia. The combat system in that game, I loved it.
Was that the one where the sword you spun and the sword spun around the head, sort of, but at a weird 45-degree angle? Is that the one I'm thinking of?
I'm not sure. So Legend of Legaia is like the world was overtaken with mist that created monsters called Seru, and in certain trees that would hold back the mist, there were eggs for Rasiru that would graft themselves onto the arms, and the combat system was high, low, left, and right. And the way that you would attack is you'd have a certain length bar, and you would put in like left, right, left, and it would like actually hit like 2 left, a right jab, and then back to the left. And it was like it was a really interesting way to do it. And then skills were based off of like for the main character, right, left, right, or right, left, right. Yeah. After you got the skill art was Tornado Flame, and it was like a fire-based melee attack. But it was a really interesting story. It had interesting combat, and I loved the world in it. I felt like at the end, like, man, you could have done so much more with this world, but you didn't. That was the only letdown I had, is like there were so many more questions left.
You gotta bear
to
in
make.
mind of them times. Games they were,
Yeah.
you know, they didn't have big budgets and they were done out of love more than anything else.
Gee,
Nobody had
I have an
faith
admission
in
to
whether
make.
or not one would be a
Oh.
hit.
Yeah.
What you got?
the
Go on.
first Final Fantasy game I ever played was 13.
That's fine.
Wow, you heard it here. What's wrong with
I've
that?
never played 7. I've never played 10. I've never played any of them. I was
I'm
more
going
of
to
a
say
Legend
this.
of Mana fan. Or
Hey, Legend of
Seiken
Mana was
Densetsu
fucking- or-
for the people that got the ROM hack
Yeah.
for, you know,
And
emulators.
the Secret of Mana, the Mana
Yeah.
series, the Tales series were fantastic. I'm going to
Oh, it's
say
so
something
good.
that's going to piss a lot of people off. I
Go
like
for
Final
it.
Fantasy VII. It is a great game. It is highly overrated based on everything that people say about it. It is not as good as people make it out to be, but it's still a
Yeah,
fantastic game.
but it's still a
But then I
good
will
game.
also
Yeah.
say my favorite Final Fantasy of the typical playstyle, Final Fantasy V. I love the job system. It's the reason I loved Bravely Default so much. It's the reason I really like 14 because the different job system and everything in it. But yeah, Final Fantasy V, my favorite by far.
I get
I
that.
just
Also,
never
speaking
played
of Final Fantasy VII.
because it's,
Zomi agrees
it's
with you, and
just-
so
I
does
never
Pop.
wanted. I never saw the value of like
That's okay, Hunter.
turn-based,
You didn't
and the
die.
Legend of Mana stuff was all live
Oh
combat.
yeah, like active.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, what is
So,
this? I have to
with-
decide whether I want to attack, use an item, run every time I do anything. What the hell is this?
Yeah, like no, I wanted more control. But I will say this:
Yeah.
7 is good. It is overhyped, and also
Yeah, it
Jessie
was
is the best
overhyped.
girl in that game, and I will die on this hill. Fight me. I love Jessie.
Okay, that's fair.
There's the
Jessie,
statement.
Jessie was my favorite character, even over 20 years ago when that game first came out.
Yeah.
And she is a side character that gets, after like the first 4 hours of the game, she gets mentioned like maybe twice at most and never again. She
Oh,
is my
yeah.
favorite
Yeah, she
damn
just
character, and I have
disappears.
no idea why. And when the remake happened, and they gave her more backstory and a bigger part in the game, it just made what happens in the story hit me that much harder. And I was like, you can't do this to me, game. You can't do this to my girl.
Yeah.
That's it, though.
Link to
That's
saying that
some games
the
your
remake-
waifus get killed off.
Link to saying the remake for Final Fantasy VII would be straight up your alley, Kizu.
Actually, yeah, it might be.
Pop
looked
says
at
that
it
the
and
original 7 is a
I
must
don't
play for
like that
everyone
it's episodic
at some point.
like
That is fair.
StarCraft 2 is.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
get
like
that.
that it's episodic. Like, no,
If
I
I get
didn't buy
invested
the
into
other
a story
two
and I've got to wait
scenarios for
5 years
StarCraft
for a
2
release,
until they went free. It's like,
If
I
you're
already
talking
paid
about me and Dragon Age,
$70 once. I don't need
Yeah,
to
I
pay
know.
$70 3 times.
Yeah.
Because, you know, that's a grocery
Yeah.
bill for a month.
Yeah, it is.
No.
Yeah, I get that. I don't agree with pay to
Yeah.
win games. I'm
I
not
mean, it
into
looks good. I've watched people play it. I've watched cutscenes on YouTube and stuff. It's just, if I'm gonna go through that kind of effort to play a game, I'm gonna find an original copy of Dino Crisis and play that live on stream.
yes.
Wow.
I've never
I'll tell you
played that
what.
either.
I'm going to have a search for that. I might.
Yeah, that game's a fucking classic.
It went way off the rails in subsequent versions, though. It went way off the rails.
Here's
But
a
the
funny
first
game.
one
Do you
is-
remember a
it's that
PS1
original
game?
RE123, the original
Yeah.
game vibe. It's just with dinosaurs.
I just thought of a game on PS1. I used to love a game called Hogs of War. I don't know if you ever played it.
Oh, that was not a big release in the United States.
No, it wasn't a big hit anywhere. It was very much like the other one. Oh, I can't think of the name of the other game. But Hogs of War on the PS1, I used to love playing it with my friends. We'd all have a drink and throw grenades at each other and, you know, try and kill each other and stuff. And it was one of them games you could sit around with 4 or 5 of your friends on a PS1 and you could all play and just get drunk. and have a good
Oh
time.
man,
I do miss
another
that.
game that was like that, the Army Men game, where you played as the plastic Army Men, and it was
I
like
remember
a
those.
third-person shooter. That was so
that Toy
baller.
Soldiers or something?
I think it was called like
Soldiers,
just
I think.
Army Men or something like that.
I think it was just Army Men, if I remember correctly.
I remember them being little plastic army men that literally you got in the packs. You saw kids getting a pack, when they
Yeah.
were little and
I
they'd
had
all
them when I
play
was
with them.
little.
And they were in the game.
Yeah, that game, I remember playing the hell out of that on like N64 and PS1 with my brother, and just getting so frustrated because he kept spamming rocket launchers. That cheating asshole.
Yeah.
Aw, poor Liz.
Yeah, those games, man.
I gotta get going.
I think we're gonna. I was just gonna say.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna wrap it up here.
I need to eat dinner because let the stuff recharge for the next 6 hours.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be in game later. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Liv,
Yeah.
and thank you, Kazuna, for joining us.
Thank you both
Thank
for
you
having me on.
Mm-hmm.
Being
Had a lot of
on.
fun today.
Cheers.
Oh yeah.
Oh
I
yeah.
can drain this glass. And I'm gonna just so you know, Chad, Chachi's gonna be dancing. Chachi's gonna do a longer stream because now they're gonna go and dance. So I'm gonna raid into Chachi
Young.
and
Yeah.
see if
gotta
they
make
like.
dinner and
Thank
eat
you,
it.
Chachi, for helping
this
me
stuff
put
right
this
back on.
together and
Yeah.
for being my co-host. And
Yeah.
I
I've
loved
thoroughly
and enjoyed
enjoyed
it.
this. I hope everybody did in chat, and thank you all for coming and watching us. And we will
I
be
had a lot of
doing
fun.
one episode a month
Yeah.
from now on.
I've done this. I've done podcasts a lot of times, and this was really fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is
I'm
the sort
glad
of
that we're gonna have
podcast.
you.
If you were going to do a podcast, I was going to want to do it this
The
way.
inaugural podcast.
Chachi and I spent a lot of
Hell
time
yeah.
thinking about it.
Hell yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's been fun. I've enjoyed it from start to
I did
finish.
too.
Hunter's asking you a really good question, real quick. I wonder how much money it would be to get everything for Final Fantasy games and all their DLCs. Like everything.
Oh god, I don't know.
That it would cost.
Probably about
ridiculous
as much as I'm
amount.
currently wearing right now. That's my guess.
Possibly more, because there are some games in the series that good luck finding a copy, and if you can, they are going to be so expensive, even loose copies.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Alternatively,
You can throw
yo
a lot of
ho
money
ho.
away.
Also,
I'm joking. Don't do
no,
that.
no in-game items. So like anything
No,
from
yeah.
The only
14.
other way to do it is to find
their
somebody
shop.
who's got everything and buy their account.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's
I've
true.
heard of people doing that before because that's the cheaper
Oh
option.
yeah. There's literally
Don't
people
say
that
it
will
anywhere
out
publicly.
there.
You did that if you do so choose
Yeah.
to do
Yeah,
that.
do not do it. We don't
Yeah.
approve of it.
Mhm.
Hey, KRY, Chaz.
Mm.
Sorry, I've just finished the stream. I'm going to be raiding into Charge, who's here with me. We're just finishing up the Shooting the Breeze, our inaugural episode.
Oh.
And Charge is going to carry on streaming, so we'll take it over to there.
Throw it back.
Oh my god.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to be lurking for a little bit at the start of that. I need food.
Come on over here.
Oh,
I want to get a
I'll be
picture
Over
real
in a
quick.
second.
I'll be making food and
Oh,
whatnot.
hell yeah.
We need a
gotta get
picture.
Then I gotta be
picture
back
for
in an
the
hour
memories
anyway.
Of all
Yeah.
of us to go.
Yep. Picture.
Picture.
Well, I'm moving. Oh my god.
Me too.
Sadly, I'm not in VR, so I can't make it. I can't do anything special.
I know. Don't worry about it.
Hey, I'm just kind of happy you're in a group picture right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
actually
I'm
did.
happy
That is
to be
true.
with us.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
now
usually
that
you run for
mention
the
it,
hills and
hold
people
on,
yell at the
hey,
floor,
okay, I
so-
gotta take a dump.
Don't you
get
go
back here.
anywhere.
You get back here.
Don't you go in here. Not with me.
I almost wonder, should I be in the ATFA avatar for that? Well, no, I'm too small for that.
You could be. It's up to you. Whatever you want to be, Liv.
We'll just put a name tag over you that says Lithcross.
It's okay.
Yeah, Liv was here.
This isn't nearly as small as I thought it was. Here we go.
Oh, there you go. That's perfect.
Young.
Outstanding.
I'm small.
Right here, and all right.
I'm shy.
Same.
Alright, I'm gonna switch to a photo cam real quick.
I'm a chocolate milk dummy mommy, okay?
What timing!
I couldn't help myself.
Amazing. Amazing.
Good.